out the roots, he let the beats build, bitch. And we never switch. Even if I'm rich, I'll be broke like I'm Mitch. Niggas talking down, but that's headed in the wrong direction. But I knock that shit out like the boxing section. Cause they can't touch what they can't see. All I gotta do is be the same me. All I gotta do is keep it G. Always be the same me. While I'm solid, boy, they can't change me. No.
We live from the boxing section, you dusty ass niggas.
I would ask America, do not...
I'm telling you right now, hide your grandma, hide your aunt, hide your mama, hide your cousin. Hey. You know what I'm saying? Your stepmama's favorite.
No, you want him? Ooh, I like him.
I don't have any panties on.
Lady Eloise, please.
So fine, pussy so fresh.
What's going on, my dog? DJ, what's happening?
Okay, there you are. Yeah. I'm about to say I couldn't hear you at first.
The whole time. I was on mute.
What's going on, man? How you been?
I'm surviving, man. We surviving, man.
Hold on, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go out and come back in. I'm gonna fix my audio.
All right. So, whose side are you guys on, man? We had a fight this weekend. Shakur Stevenson had a fight this weekend, and now he's fighting Cam and Mase. Whose side are you guys on? Okay. Are you with Shakur Stevenson, or are you guys with Cam and Mase? Whose side are you on? There's a fight Saturday night between Shakur Stevenson, right, and the guy that fought Frank Martin. And a lot of people said the fight was boring. They said that they weren't entertained. But if you guys know anything about Shakur Stevenson, he needs that person to bring the fight so he can show off his skills and he can be more aggressive. The guy wasn't really trying to fight, if you ask me. He was doing a lot of moving, and Shakur Stevenson was the one in the pocket walking him down after he said that Shakur Stevenson was going to do all the running. And it seems to me that Shakur Stevenson was the one trying to apply the pressure, but people still said his fight was boring. I don't agree with Cam and Mase, but I don't agree with Shakur Stevenson neither. Two things can be true, right? The fight wasn't boring, and Mase is one of the best rappers from the 90s. Period. We can't even debate nor discuss anything differently than that. But DJ, what is your take on the Cam and Mase versus Shakur Stevenson?
I felt like it came from a casual's point of view, because anybody who's watched the sport for an extended period of time could see that Shakur was putting on a boxing lesson, man. And he said it, I think, in like round 9, round 10, when his corner was begging for him to step up the output, which is my only critique of the fight. I felt like Shakur could have got him out of there, but he could have stepped up the offense a little bit. But at the same time, he was the one moving forward. He was the one slipping in the pocket. He was the one landing shots. To me, that's not boring. Sweet science is never boring to me. What's boring is when guys get in there and don't throw punches. Like,
Right. So
you
my
know,
thing
that
is,
could be that
DJ,
can be a very, you know, vanilla fight to watch. But at the same time, you also gotta know what you're looking at. And that was my overall take of what they were saying. Oh, they really didn't understand what they were looking at.
yeah. Shout out to my boy Daniel. Shout out to NO Boxing. Shout out to my dog Brandon Washington in the building. The thing that really upsets me about boxing is they try to box you in. Okay, his last fight, I was there. It was bad. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. It was hard to watch. It was hard to watch.
Yeah, but you can't bring that fight into this fight and tell me that this fight was boring. I don't agree with that. I just don't agree.
I think everybody, for the people who had already formed the opinions or were beginning to form their opinions on Shakur's fighting style, I don't think this fight helped his stock, so to speak, because you look at the fights that his contemporaries are putting on. Hell, Teofimo Lopez just put on the same fight. Only difference is
Teofimo terrible in that fight, bro.
Man,
terrible, bro.
He went in there playing with his food, man.
Because you're not going to sit here and tell me, DJ,
you're not about to sit here and tell me he could knock was how you said Cleggett. You can't sit here and tell me that he could knock Buddy out, man.
Hey,
I don't know what he had going on, but it goes to my point about Teofimo Lopez and Emmanuel Navarrete. They fight to the level of their competition.
This is why he's not a great fighter, in my opinion. Dude, I
can't say that.
Dude, no, he's a good fighter. He's not a great fighter.
See, I can't say that.
Okay, but listen. Great fighters don't fight to the level of their competition.
Also true.
When we talk about Bud Crawford, you talk about shit. I mean, the list can go on and on for real. We can start with Bud, Earl, Boots. Let me see. Hell, Tank, he don't do it either. Neither does Devin Haney. Ben Rodriguez. I mean, we can go on and on and on about this. But really, Teofimo Lopez is always doing this. And it almost bit him this time. Because if they was judging the fight how they judge O'Shaquie Foster.
I'm about to say, if they had the same judge as O'Shaquie had, say, God, that was terrible, man. We'll get to that in a minute. But damn, that was terrible.
No. Hey, we getting to that for real. But whose side are you on? Are you feeling because they both was wrong as hell. I mean, both parties was wrong as shit. Cam and Mace was wrong. And Cam normally knows more about boxing than this. So that's kind of why I was kind of like, I thought he was trying to just defend Mace. But I thought, come on. Like, that fight wasn't as boring as niggas saying it was, in my opinion. Maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe all my shows got canceled when I was a kid. I don't know. But
with Shakur's response, I just took it as, he's 24, 25 years old. He really don't know.
No, but but listen, dog. It don't matter how old you are.
Like, man, he really don't know, man. That's like asking me about Kool Mo D and Cool G Rap and Pete Rock. Like, I wasn't listening to them, man. So I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know how good they were.
But DJ, them niggas was nice. That they was.
So say my Uncle Neil.
Hey, listen, but listen, you can go to the club right now and hear Mace. You can go in the club right now, and you're gonna hear Mace. No question about it. Shout out to my dog. Hey, man, I got my dog in the building, man. In fact, I'm in his building. Shout out to my dog, Coop. What's going on, Coop?
Cool.
Top of it, man. Shout out to the boxing section. Shout out to DJ. But you guys are bogus as hell if y'all didn't think that fight was boring. I'm a Shakur Stevens fan. I'm a fan, dude. I've been watching him early on. Big fan. The last two fights have been boring. The last fight he was inactive for like the first 4 rounds. I understand the setup rounds and you filling somebody out. You want to see what you can get away with, what you can't. But he was inactive for those rounds. That's why the fans were booing. Shit, I'm a fan, and I'm like, damn, like, when you gonna start? Is it more of this? Is it more of this? Then the knock on it to me is we know dude is a lesser talent, and you couldn't get him up out of there.
But Frank Martin is a harder puncher than he is, and he couldn't get him out of there. So we can't say that.
Bro, you beat the man ass allegedly, right? That's what you told me.
Yeah, I mean, he
Later.
beat him. He beat him worse than Frank Martin did. Frank Martin barely got out of there.
So you couldn't get him up out of there. You couldn't drop him. You couldn't nothing.
About to say it to Coop's point, right? To be fair, at least Frank made him take a knee. And I think that ended up being the difference in the fight. Am I wrong? That ended up being the difference in the fight when he got that knockdown.
For sure.
Similar to the Sean Porter and Harold Spence fight, even though Sean Porter's a way better fighter than Harold Tunya.
But I'm gonna say this though, bruh, he's still an Olympian though, so that gotta count for something. Just because we don't know who these people are, that don't mean they ain't good. And we learned that about a lot of fighters when we just pick niggas because we didn't know who the other nigga was, and the other nigga put hands on the nigga.
Watching Shakur fights early on, his style in the last two fights is completely different at 135 now, right?
It wasn't. It wasn't.
It was.
You gotta think. Listen.
It was not.
I will say this. I don't think his power. I don't think his power. He already had limited power. He already had limited power, but I don't think his power came up from 130.
No, it didn't.
So,
but listen,
and another thing to Coop's point, real quick, I will say this though. I went into that fight, and shout out to L-Dub. Me and L-Dub had a good back and forth about this. I felt like Shakur needed to make a statement. I felt like he, in order for his going into his free agency, I felt like he needed a stoppage in this fight to really help his stock going forward. So,
gonna set him apart, right? As soon as the fight ended, I went to the group, and this was before everybody came up. I said, man, he ain't never gonna sell no pay-per-views. How you gonna sell pay-per-views and he's not exciting? Everybody leaving and bored.
But see, styles make fights. See,
styles make fights, right?
I'm gonna tell you something.
Don't the great fighters adapt though?
Not necessarily, bro. Because listen, somebody got to bring the fight to him. So, like, if you notice his best fights, when people throw a lot of punches. When people throw a lot of punches, he's a counter puncher. So he
wants to bring the fight to you.
I can't hear you, Cool.
If we're not going to get an exciting fight because your opponents aren't going to bring the fight to you, then it's going to be boring forever.
But I don't see, but I don't think it was boring though. That's what I'm saying. I enjoyed the fight.
That was not a chess match, dog.
Listen, but the thing that people keep saying he did not do. People keep saying he was running. He didn't run at all, bro.
I didn't say he was running. I just said he was inactive. I didn't say he was running.
No. I'm not saying you. I'm saying the masses. People that are just saying, oh, he ran. But that's not true. He didn't run.
Man, the inactivity was killing me, bro. Like, I down there was falling asleep sitting there. Shit, I'm like, man, I might as well go finish cooking dinner.
But yeah, that, like I said, Coop, that was my only critique of the fight. I felt like there was times, especially towards those middle rounds heading into the championship rounds, like I felt like he could have, if he would have just stepped on the gas a little bit, he could have got Haratunian out of there. Because he not only was Haratunian frustrated because he really couldn't land anything, and Shakur was doing an effective job countering him. I felt like if he would have just bumped up the activity a little bit, I don't think the fight was boring. I felt like it was a good technical fight. And it came to the point where you got to also look at it. Harrington was in there to survive. After so long, he was just trying to survive. He really wasn't offering much resistance. And I think that's where a lot of people's frustration comes from. He really wasn't offering a lot of resistance, but at the same time, you know, he was moving and he was blocking and he was parrying punches very well. And he was doing everything a veteran fighter and somebody of an Olympic pedigree does in order to survive in fights, because he knew he was outmatched.
Oh, he was outgunned.
I said that shit start reminding me of
shout out to the
AB
weigh-in, man.
not letting the hands go. I'm like,
It ain't that bad though.
What happened? Like,
it's not that bad though.
it was that bad, bro. He wasn't letting them hands go.
I can barely hear you,
telling him.
B-Dub, salute, man.
Go.
Shout out to the weigh-in. Hey, I can't barely hear you, Coop.
His corner kept telling him, "Let your hands go."
Yeah, but it's not an AB situation though, Coop. That's what I'm saying. You saying like AB. AB is totally different.
He don't let his hands go. Shit.
Nah, AB just he's completely gun shy now, man. Watching that Blair Cobb fight, for some reason, man, he's just completely gun shy now. He just does not want to get in there and throw punches. He'll jab half the fight, but he just when openings were there, right, he just wouldn't return fire.
Stop doing enough to win and protecting that zero, and let me see the dog in you, because I know Shakur a dog. Like, but that inactivity, the first 4 rounds was like,
you know what, man, fuck y'all. You know why? You know why?
Listen,
no, I'm gonna tell you
Floyd
why.
was called
I'm
a
gonna tell y'all
fighter.
No,
and
listen.
Still was throwing 500 punches a fight. So
this is what I'm gonna say. Fuck
I
y'all.
don't listen to that.
This is what I'm gonna tell. This is why I'm gonna say fuck y'all. Right? I mean, God dang, I ain't supposed to, because this is why I say forget y'all. Right? Because Devin Haney showed y'all heart, and look where it got him. Look where it got him. Don't nobody even give a damn that Ryan Garcia cheated. Nobody even cares that Ryan Garcia cheated.
Bruh, you such a Devin and Haney fanboy. This don't got nothing to do with.
No,
I'm
saying no. That's the same thing that people said about Devin Haney. They've been saying about Shakur Stevenson. Oh, he's boring. Oh, this or that. And then he's trying to bring an exciting fight. That? Everybody says Devin Haney's boring, bro. That's not nothing new.
I never heard Devin.
I don't say he's boring. I just say I never said he's boring. I just say he couldn't bust a grape if you gave him a hammer.
That's all I heard. Is he ain't got no pop. That's the only thing I ever heard was he ain't got no pop.
Yeah, Devin Haney ain't got no FU on his punches, man. That's his problem. Everything else, and whenever he gets touched, his knees lock. But those are my critiques of Devin Haney. But he's not. I've never accused him of being boring. He just can't pop, man.
Everybody keeps saying the styles make fight, right?
AKA Rob G.
You as a fighter, you don't adapt to certain styles. You just continue to fight the same style.
Well, I'll say this, Coop. If anybody has watched Shakur's fights going back to a few years ago when he fought Nakatila, once Nakatila clipped him, he decided he wasn't going to engage no more. I think it's come to the point now. I think people really want to see Shakur get his bell rung. I think people really want to see him get rocked and have to come back for that, because in a lot of his fights, he hadn't really had to face no adversity. It's been smooth sailing. People have barely touched him.
He was dominant. Pause. He whooped Valdez's ass. What was that nigga? Jamel Herring.
Jamel Herring, yeah. He started Jamel Herring out.
He whooped all their ass at 130, 126. And now you're at 135, and it's like you're not fighting the same style. But maybe that getting that power and woke his game up.
But
I mean, he fought Yoshino the same way he fought Jamel Herring and stopped him.
How you gonna fight Tank if he's scared of some power?
And this is why I've always said Tank is gonna have to work very hard to land that shot.
Oh, for sure.
Oh yeah,
he's gonna have to work hard to land them shots, because like most of Shakur's fights, I've seen him stand like he did Saturday. I've seen him stand right in front of guys and they couldn't touch him.
And I'm gonna tell you this though. his IQ is out of this world. See, people they don't understand. See, people that say it's boring, they're not even focused on the sport of boxing. The man's IQ is out of this world, bro.
Listen, you can have a great defense. You still gotta
no,
have
his
offense to
IQ
win some
too.
games.
Like I feel like people. He could be more aggressive. I mean, not aggressive, but he can throw more punches. Sure, he can. But also, he's a counter puncher. People keep trying to make him something else. He's not. He's a counter puncher. That's what he does. He counter punches. He's a counter puncher. You miss
in his early fights. He didn't create his own offense.
You said what?
In the fights before 135, he didn't create his own offense.
Look who he fought. In these fights, look who
this
he fought.
This is hypocritical. Though. Like
no. I'm telling. Listen to what I'm trying to tell you.
Now
look
who he
fought. I didn't say he needed to. I'm not saying that's my opinion. I'm replying to what he was saying. Shakur doesn't need to prove he can take a shot to get respect. I'm not saying that's my opinion, but it seems like the more we break down Shakur's fighting style, and it just seems like people really want to see him get hit. And it's frustrating that he doesn't get hit, but at the same time, he's not throwing 600-700 punches a fight. So,
hey, I'm not gonna lie, man. I'm disappointed in Shakur Stevenson, man.
You just mad about the Mace shit. But what Mace said
kind of valid. Now I'm a little disappointed in Shakur, bro, because
that nigga threw more tweets than punches. Listen, he tweeted 237 times after the fight.
Hey, listen. Tim Bradley, another sellout. ESPN write his checks. So he gonna listen to whatever the higher ups tell him to say. That's why nobody F with your bald-headed ass, bum-ass nigga. And you actually was a decent fighter, but by the time my career is over, I have way more knockouts than you. Stop talking like you Tyson, and bro, you effing head Chinese. This is what I'm saying, bro. Like you get it.
That's just frustration. That's frustration.
But
that's frustration.
Tim Bradley didn't even say nothing crazy about that man.
Man, when the fight started, Tim Bradley said he got his coffee. Man, that was crazy. That was crazy. That was crazy work. That was crazy work, Kyle.
That's kind of funny.
He was like, yeah, just want to let y'all know I got my coffee. I was like, it's round one. You don't even know how this fight gonna go.
Hard to watch the inactivity, bro.
Yeah,
it's been so hard.
Listen, I'm gonna say this, bro, because see, we all have a different lens as it pertains to the boxing, right? We all have a different lens, like what we like, what we want to see. You know what I mean? We all have a different lens, right? So,
talk about it.
My lens, I love seeing somebody hit, not get hit, jab, move around. You know, I like that. I like more showboating than anything. I wish they bring more of that back, more showboating, right? But that's what I like. All the stand in front and get punched up and get beat on.
That's not what I want.
That's not my style of boxing. I'm just, hey, it's cool, but as far as like people saying stuff be boring, I be enjoying it. Like when a nigga just getting his ass totally beat the whole entire fight, I enjoy those fights, bro.
How many rounds did it take you to enjoy it?
Because
you can't say that early on it was enjoyable.
It was, bro. Because
it wasn't, bro. Like
if you look at the distance,
we watch fights together. We watch it. We not dumb. Like we see what's going on, bro. That shit was dry the first 4 rounds.
But listen though, there's plenty of fights that you said you don't like that I liked. Remember, we done been in the same room. You like, oh man, this fight we can sell. And I'm like, bro, this fight is good. You know what I
mean? I understand what Coop is saying because this is why I'm such a Tank fan, right? And I've said this before. Like I think Saturday, I think what Coop is saying, we all kept waiting on that second gear from Shakur. Right. We all kept waiting on that. And it's a beautiful thing to watch Gervonta Davis kick it into another gear. Once he realized that Once he realized that you ain't got nothing for him and he done figured out your reach, he figured out that you can't hurt him. It's beautiful to watch him switch gears. And we never saw that gear change from Shakur. It was like, all right, cool. You want to fight like this? We're going to fight like this. I can beat you however you want to do it. But if you want to fight like this, we're going to fight like this.
But see,
I think he can adapt. It's just that he really hadn't had to.
But see, the
Tank
thing
coming
about
there,
Tank,
he fill you out, he download data. He see, oh, your power can't affect me. Okay, this how you fighting? Next gear.
Next see, gear. He got what Deontay Wilder has. NyQuil in his gloves. You know what I mean? In the words of the great
dogs in his hands.
Listen, in the words of the great philosopher DJ, sleepy night. You know what I'm saying? So everybody don't have that. But I mean, I do agree with y'all, like, because even like, bro, like people, like even with this, even the Jamel Herring fight, people say, like, oh, the fight with this or that. He didn't knock Jamel Herring down. He just beat the hell out of him. You know what I'm saying?
He just dominated him.
Yeah, but
beat the brakes, rotors off of him.
Listen,
had the nigga white mad as shit.
Hey, everybody ain't going. And
but
I'm gonna tell you this though. I do want to see Tank versus Shakur. I still want to see it.
Absolutely. Ain't nothing changed with that. Still want to see that fight. I still want to see Keyshawn and Frank. So ain't nothing changed with that.
See, what I didn't like was how Mace made it seem like Gervonta Davis was just gonna walk through him though. Like just, you know. Boxing Sage, what up, dog? Appreciate you for sliding through, man. Appreciate you.
I think the entertainment wise, where I was coming from is, how are you going to be a big pay-per-view star? You're a free agent right now. If you're not putting on entertaining shows, you'll have 1.4 million people watching that fight, and you didn't entertain, and you becoming a free agent. This was your time to make yourself a household name to more people.
And it feeds into the narrative that people like William Zepeda can beat you. You know, see what I'm saying? Because William Zepeda he's gonna come forward. He does that style. Well, he perfect segue into the next fight, but he does that style that I hate, even though he throws a lot of punches and he's very effective in his style and the style that he chooses to implement. But I absolutely despise rewarding guys for walking forward in the punches. Oh, he's putting on the pressure. No, he's walking forward in the punches. Oh, no, but the pressure, which is why I believe those ignorant judges, those incompetent judges stole that fight from old Shakur Foster.
Oh, man, that's for sure.
They did that boy wrong.
They stole. It's almost criminal the way that they stole that fight from him, man. And only thing, because I went back and watched the fight again. Only reason I can even think about giving Robson Conceição that fight was, he's putting on the pressure. He's walking forward. He's on the front foot. He's coming forward. He's walking forward into punches. He's getting his ass whooped. Are y'all not seeing this?
The nigga was lunging forward and everything, bro.
And missing. It's one thing if you landing, if you hitting the arms, if you touching the body, that's one thing. But I absolutely hate watching guys just walk forward in the punches and getting rewarded for that.
Shakur Foster had 10s across the board. When they said he lost, I was like, oh, shit, what the fuck?
Hey, listen.
You had two judges. You had one judge give Conceição 8 rounds. You had a judge give him. Y'all telling me, Shakur? You trying to tell me you watched that fight and you only gave Shakur Foster 4 rounds of that fight? How?
Hey, listen. Then check this out. Even the judge that gave him the fight was bad.
Conceição, correct me if I'm wrong, Kyle. I don't know if you can pull up the punch stats. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that man didn't land double digits in a round except for one round. And he won the fight?
You know, but hey, listen, Top Rank robbed that man a couple times. So I guess they said, well, we'll just make it up to you.
I say once.
Twice, bro.
I ain't gonna say twice. Man, that Navarrete fight could have went either way, bro.
Listen, you know I'm a Navarrete fan.
Right.
And if I'm
that
telling
fight could have went either way. I thought he beat Valdez. I honestly thought he beat
Valdez, bro.
But that Navarrete fight, and that's when Valdez was on the tee as well. So I honestly, to this day, still believe he beat Oscar Valdez. But that Navarrete fight, that could have went either way. If he had won that fight, I'd have been cool with it. If the fight had been a draw, I'd have been cool with it. Navarrete won, I'm cool with it. That fight could have truly went either way. Shakur stomped him out, but you know, that is what it is.
Hey, but
you know I truly believe O'Shaquie Foster dominated that fight.
Hey, but listen, to the point I made earlier, right? That's what I'm saying. Shakur needs somebody that's gonna throw a million punches so he can show you how good he is. Because bro was throwing a lot of punches and he got his ass handed to him. Like he was getting punched out, but he also missed weight that fight, so he didn't go all the way down. But still, he beat the hell out that dude.
Yeah, I understand that's a stain on him, but I understand that's a stain on him. Him missing weight that fight, and that's why he ended up losing his belts. But that fight wasn't close either.
No, I'm saying how bad he beat him. I'm saying.
Oh yeah, he stomped him out. That complete stomp out. Stomp out.
Hey, should have stopped him. They should have stopped that fight for real.
I think Conceição is one of those guys, man. It's gonna be hard to stop him. I think he's got a granite chin. I think it's gonna be hard to stop him, but it's easy to outbox him because he doesn't move when he punches. Every punch he throws, he tries to sit down on.
Yeah. He lost that fight though. He know he did. And for him to
say man, look at your face. to quote Adrian Broner, look at your face. Look at your face, man. Had his face all swole up, man. Come on, man. He's like, I felt for O'Shaquie Foster when he's sitting over there in that corner in disbelief. He was like, man, I thought I beat him easy, man. Like he didn't touch me other than the head, but they had a clash of heads. And like, what was it? The 9th round, I want to say. I want to say it was the 8th or 9th round when they had that clash of heads. And other than that, he didn't touch him. The man landed 11% of his punches, according to the punch stats.
Not to get off topic, but so is Shakur ever going to be a big pay-per-view star?
Yep.
Depending on who he fights.
Yep.
Him alone, I don't think so. But depending on who he fights, yeah.
If he get with Mayweather, yep.
No, yeah. I'm
gonna tell you why.
Only thing he gonna get from Mayweather is inactivity, man.
I'm gonna tell you why though.
Eddie Hearn.
I'm gonna tell you why I say Mayweather. He need that stamp.
No, they're gonna have that boy on a first trip to Saudi Arabia.
Man, that Mayweather stamp ain't the same.
No, it still is.
Unless Mayweather's fighting on the card. People forget, like that's when Tank came up, he was fighting on Mayweather's undercard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mayweather not fighting no more, man. So you gonna try to headline a card with Shakur just by himself? Or you gonna try to stack the undercard? What's gonna happen is he's gonna keep Kermel Moton on his undercards. That's what's gonna happen. But if I were Shakur, I wouldn't entertain Mayweather. You see how Mayweather and Tank are falling out. You see the hate and the shade he's throwing at Tank was his biggest star, his biggest project. And you see how that's turning out right now. So Mayweather's only going to let you get so big. Once you get anything close to his name, as far as popularity, they're going to start butting heads, man. And where can you take Shakur right now? Even though I don't think Shakur is a boring fighter, where can you take him outside of the East Coast that he'll actually sell, man? Forget pay-per-views.
Does the South
Forget
count?
pay-per-views. Actually sell tickets.
Does the South count?
Hell no.
Bro, look, even though I think it was a top ranked thing and I think it was under promoted, bro, you were at the Jamel Herring fight with me. You saw that arena.
Hey, but it was some people in there though.
Yeah. A lot of Puerto Rican flags is in there too, right? Huh? Who else was on that card, Kyle? Wasn't Xander on that card too?
Mm-hmm.
They had a lot of fighters. They had some fighters from Atlanta on that card too, right?
That's what he really supposed to be using to his advantage. The Puerto Rican shit. I'm not black, I'm Puerto Rican, man. He's supposed to have the whole country behind him.
Oh, that ain't nothing but the 51st state, man.
Yeah. If he can get all them motherfuckers behind him, he'll sell some pay-per-views.
But that ain't how Puerto Ricans fight, man.
Come out there and be like, I don't like niggas. I'm a Puerto Rican. He'll sell some tickets.
The Mexicans start liking the nigga too. He said that. Pittsburgh T, what up, dog? Pittsburgh in the house, man.
What's up, Pittsburgh?
We got a link. Is the link still up?
It should be.
Comment. Drop it again.
Yeah, drop it one more time for the peoples. If I want to join the panel, the link is in the chat, though.
But what did you think about Keyshawn's performance, Kyle?
Oh man, top tier.
Shakur threw more shots at Cam and Mace than the actual fight. Golly, man.
I love how Keyshawn adapted.
Top tier ass whooping right there.
He said, "Oh, this nigga want to be aggressive. He want to pick me up. He want to keep rushing me. I'm gonna stand in his pocket and I'm gonna beat the shit out of him."
Hey, dude, face was made out of brick.
I told you,
had to be
a bionic head.
Had to be because Keyshawn was hitting with the thunder, man.
The only knock I had on that fight, he should have went to the body a lot more.
Yeah, Keyshawn was hitting him with some thunder though, man, and he couldn't get him out of there. And sometimes you go run into guys like that who you can just hit in the face with a shovel and they ain't gonna go nowhere.
Pitbull Cruz.
Yeah, see, and I say that about all fighters with no neck, right? Including James Toney. Like, it's just certain guys. James Toney would be my best example, but these guys with no neck, man, it's hard to knock them out.
Hey, but see, people don't understand that Pitbull got a high guard. He got good defense.
He got a high guard, and it works because he has no neck.
Yeah,
and he's 5'3". Yeah. That works.
You can't hit the nigga.
You gotta reach down by your thighs and by your knees just to hit him in the body. I also think that's why Tank struggled with him, because Tank is used to punching up. He's used to guys being taller than him. He's used to punching up. So when you punching down, and I think that's how he injured his hand, punching him in the forehead. So, but like we say in boxing, styles make fights, and I just think it's not a style he can't overcome, clearly, because I thought he won the fight easily. 9-3 for my opinion. 9-3, 8-4, somewhere around there. I thought he won the fight easily. But Pitbull got a lot of good shots off too. So, and that's why a lot of people are still clamoring for the rematch.
Exactly. Now I ain't got dreads yet. They getting there though. If I don't comb this shit out, I was supposed to my hair done today, but I got canceled.
Oh yeah, you supposed to go sit in the chair today.
Man, yeah, man.
Boy, trying to be a bad bitch.
Oh man, I can't talk. I ain't got no hair, man. he hunches in his high guard. Yeah, boxers say that's what I'm saying, man. Like that high guard works for guys with no neck, man. So you ain't got nothing else to punch at besides his shoulders and his chest, and you got to reach so low to get that. You in perfect position for because you in perfect position for those hooks he be throwing. So
Shout out, Mo Days. Happy birthday to Big Bruh. That fight was a snooze fest.
shout out to my older brother.
that fight was a snooze fest.
He don't watch boxing though. He's a dickhead. He don't know shit.
But people who love the street science would enjoy the boxing lessons handed out. Absolutely. I'm one of the guys. I'm one of the people, man. To watch what Oshaki Foster did to Robson Kinsey was just as impressive as a knockout. If you can go in there and win double-digit rounds against a guy, that's just as impressive as a knockout to me. Hey. If you go in there and just completely shut a dude down, ain't nothing he can do. What's like anybody can get caught with the right shot at the wrong time and go to sleep. But to completely immobilize a guy and just beat the fight out of him to where he's just so frustrated and he can't get none of his shots off, but he's constantly getting clipped. To me, that's just as impressive as a knockout. I might be in the minority with that, but that's just as impressive to me. Watching what Shakur did was still a boxing lesson. He put on a boxing lesson. Now, could he have, like I've said, he could have mashed the gas a little bit, possibly, and got Harutunian out of there, even though he was in there to survive. I still think he could have stopped him. And I felt like like I said earlier, I felt like he needed a stoppage just for his stock as a fighter and the must-see TV factor of it, just for the entertainment factor of it, just to keep his name up there with everybody else in the weight class. I felt like he needed a stoppage. Now, people recognize the talent, and I think that's where the disappointment comes in, because if you didn't think Shakur could do any better, I don't think anybody would be disappointed. I think we're waiting on Shakur to take that next step, that next evolution in his game and start really embarrassing guys out here. Right now, he's outboxing them, putting on boxing clinics. But I think we're waiting on Shakur to really, number one, like I said earlier, go through some adversity in a fight. And number two, really bite down on his mouthpiece and try to put these guys to sleep.
Yeah. My whole thing is, bro, why y'all not mad at the people that he fighting?
Salute, Cam. Salute.
Shout out to my dog, Cam. Hey, listen. Why are we not getting mad at the people that he fighting?
I mean, because I think we all believe there's nothing they can do.
No, I'm saying, but like, it's like,
I get it. I get it. Well, it takes two to tango. It takes two to tango. But I because we already expect Shakur to go in there and watch these dudes anyway, especially his last 3 fights. Even if you didn't know anything about Edwin De Los Santos, right? People felt like Shakur should have won that fight going away. People felt like that was easy work for Shakur. All he had to do was avoid getting clipped, but people felt like that was easy work for him.
Yeah,
it's gonna take the right guy to bring that type of fight out of Shakur.
I'm just hoping he stops this Twitter shit, man. That's all I'm hoping for.
I mean, he's what, 24, 25, man? Come on, man. That's what they do.
It's hurting his stock, though.
I mean, Devin Haney be on Twitter too, man. Stop the nonsense, Kyle. All these guys be on Twitter.
Shit's bad,
man. When ain't no way, bro. I understand you felt like, I understand you got cheated in that fight, but we saw that ass whooping, man. We saw it happen. Now, we might have feelings, or everybody's got their theories as to why that happened, including Ryan popping positive and acting the way he's acted since then. Bro, we saw that, man. Like, that's not going to get scrubbed from the internet. We saw that. and he was online celebrating on Twitter and on all his social media, putting out videos celebrating. Bro, I wouldn't be celebrating. You still got beat up. Now, him popping positive may or may not have had something to do with it, but we saw you get beat up, man. That's the big thing about PEDs or banned substances, however you want to say it. We don't know. We don't know. Now we don't know what would have happened. We don't know what was you, and we don't know what was the substance. What if it was the substance or not. We don't know if it was you or if it was the substance. That's the big thing about PEDs. Until we see Ryan fight again next year, because he's got that year-long suspension. Until we see him fight anybody of note again, we won't know whether or not that was him or that was the stuff that he was on. We'll say Cam a clown for going at the young dude. Nah, man, they do what they do. I don't see how Shakur puts up a fight against Tank. Hey, man, Tank gonna have to come with it. I'm not saying Shakur gonna get knocked out, and I'm not saying Shakur gonna outbox Tank, but I'm telling you now, Tank gonna have to work hard for that shot. Yeah, I think was Warp Star Boxing Knowledge. I think didn't Devin get his O back? That fight ended up being ruled a no contest, right? And rightfully so. Rightfully so. That fight should be a no contest.
As it should have been.
Yeah, as it should be. If a guy pops positive in the fight, that fight should be a no contest no matter who won. If Ryan had popped positive and lost, right, that fight should still be a no contest. It should be as if the fight never happened, but the problem is we saw it. You can't erase that from my memory. And to go even further to that, like that just Devin Haney's had that problem for the last few fights. He had that problem with JoJo, and he had that problem with Loma. Something about left hands he don't see, man. He does not see them.
He need Mickey Bay in that goddamn corner is what he need.
Man, that ain't gonna help his jaw, Kyle. That ain't gonna help his vision, and that ain't gonna help his jaw.
He needs to get back to doing that shoulder roll, nigga. That's what he needs to do.
You think Devin Haney, with his questionable chin, needs to go back to a shoulder roll? Okay. But does he stay at 140 is my question. Because I don't know why he's not fighting Sandor Martin. Somebody's going to have to explain that to me like I'm 3 years old. Why is he not fighting Sandor Martin?
I don't know.
I think that's an easy fight to make, and I definitely think since Sandor Martin is his number one contender, he should fight him. What other big fights does he have lined up right now? What other options does he have right now? Definitely don't put him in there with T.O. right now. I think T.O. damn near kill him.
Man, T.O. ain't shit, man.
I think, man, we just spoke about how T.O. fight to the level of his competition. You put Teofimo Lopez in there with Devin Haney right now, T.O. gonna try to kill him.
Teofimo Lopez, he ain't blessed enough, man.
Man, Teofimo Lopez will try to kill him.
He ain't blessed enough to part that, see. He ain't tall enough, bro. Too little.
Who too little?
Teofimo Lopez too little, bro.
Oh man, stop it, Kyle. Come on, man. Come on, Kyle. I love you.
So you think Teofimo Lopez will beat Devin Haney?
Absolutely, I think he can beat him. Will he? Now they still got to lace him up and go in there, and I want to see it. But absolutely, I think Teofimo can beat him.
Sure.
Right now, we ain't gonna talk about the young fella, Abdullah Mason.
I mean, he's still fighting 8-rounders though. He's a good fighter though for sure. But
yeah, that kid, he's special, man. I definitely think Abdullah Mason is special. But he's at that stage in his career where we got to see him. It's time to step him up now. I'll say the same thing.
Like Frank Martin.
I'll say the same thing about him that I've been saying about Big Baby Anderson for the past 2 years. It's time to step him up before he kills somebody.
Do
And
they
I
need
mean
to
that with
fast
all
track him like
sincerity.
Keyshawn?
Put him in
You
there with
heard me, DJ?
Keyshawn right now?
He can't
No, I
beat
said, do they
Keyshawn
need to
Davis,
fast
bro.
track his career like Keyshawn Davis?
Yeah, you can't. You can't. You can't. He's only 19 years old, bro. You can't.
But he got the same amount of fights, Kyle.
Yeah, but
You know me, I look at fights. I look at the
Okay.
experience. I don't
Hey,
I don't necessarily look at your age. I think he just turned 20.
Listen,
He just turned 20, 19, 20 years old.
But DJ, he not fighting the same competition, bro. All fights are
I
not
mean,
created.
we fast tracking Keyshawn because Keyshawn is a silver medalist. That's why we fast tracking Keyshawn
He's
and the
also
skill
older.
level.
He's also older.
Well, yeah,
bro.
and he's older. But like I said, I look at the amount of fights. I don't look at your age. I look at the amount of
But you
fights.
gotta look at who they fighting, though, DJ.
That's why I said it's time to. That's why I say I say the same thing about Abdullah Mason that I've been saying about Big Baby Anderson for the past 2 years. It's time to step him up before he kills somebody. You
Kyle,
keep
he's
putting
still
him in
beating
here with
grown
the
men
caliber
ass.
of guys he's been fighting, he's gonna fucking kill somebody, Kyle. They are not prepared for that kind of talent.
Kyle, he's still beating grown men ass. Like whether he's
Yeah,
19
but you
or
gotta.
not. Like
It's not the same. It's different, bro.
I say put him in there with somebody like Blue Nose. Put him in there with Blue Nose.
Who the fuck is that?
Blue Nose Lopez? Fought Valdez twice?
I would put him in there with somebody like
what
Jose Pedraza.
Oh man. Pedraza don't need to be fighting nobody, man.
Nah,
Pedraza is cannon fodder right now.
You gotta. I don't know, but see, we gotta think. He's still fighting 8-rounders. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, he got 15 fights, but he's still fighting 8-rounders. Like,
that's what I'm saying. It's time to step him up to 10 rounders and put him in there with somebody who can offer some actual resistance.
Him pertaining to, you know what I'm saying? Pertaining to pertaining to him fighting Keyshawn Davis. You get what I'm saying?
Put him in there with who?
I'm talking about how, because Coop said put him in there with Keyshawn Davis. If we're comparing the two, I thought we was comparing the two.
no,
so
I don't want to put him in there with Keyshawn Davis. I said fast track his career like Keyshawn's.
Right.
Like
Well, yeah. I just think it's time to step him up. I think it's time to start putting him in 10 rounders against some little stiffer competition. I think he's proved that much so far. I'm not saying vault him into the top 10 because Keyshawn's he's ranked top 5 across the board already.
Top 5, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's top 5 across all sanctioning bodies. I'm not saying vault the kid up that high, but let's get him against somebody in the top 15, top 20.
So this is Keyshawn Davis, right?
I know he beat the hell out of Pedraza.
Oh man, beat the shit. So look, this is what I'm saying, though, guys. So he started out 4 round, 6-6, and then he went to the Olympics, right?
Mm-hmm.
8-8-8, 10-10, 10-10, 10. Have his
all right,
fight.
now pull up Abdullah Mason just to show the parallel. If we're gonna move his career like we've been moving Keyshawn's, like he's in 8 rounders now. I think his next couple fights need to be 10 rounders.
We talking about the fast tracking is what I thought we was talking about. That's what I was getting with.
Yeah. Okay, Keyshawn's only got 11 fights.
Yeah, but you see what the fights he's been fighting though?
Abdullah Mason has more fights than Keyshawn.
Nigga, I'm saying it's the level of fights though. You get what I'm saying?
I've seen enough to where it's time to bump him up. I think it's time to bump him up. Now he ain't done cooking by far, but it's time to start adding a little seasoning to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to see him fight somebody who gonna offer a little resistance and somebody who he can't get out of there in 5-6 rounds.
He had that.
Jaleel Hackett's about to fight. He's got a fight coming up. I think he's on that August 3rd card, ain't he?
I think, yeah.
I think he's on that August 3rd card. I think he's on Bud's card, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I think he on another card before that.
He might be. Yeah, he might be before that. Who's fighting on the 27th? I can't remember. Somebody's fighting on the 27th. I think he's on that card.
Man,
damn, I can't remember.
I tell you what, though, my boy David Lopez fighting this weekend. He fighting on Friday, and I wish I could be there.
Oh yeah, that's the fight you were talking about in Atlanta.
Now, listen, that's gonna be the fight, though.
Man, give me Keyshawn and Frank, or give me Keyshawn and Kid Austin, man. That's where I'm at with Keyshawn. I'd like to see Keyshawn and Kid Austin or Keyshawn and Frank. Give me that.
All right, here we go. This is Abdullah Mason's box rec. See what I'm saying?
Straight stomp outs.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is 4, 4, 4, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 6, 8, 8, 8. You feel what I'm saying?
Okay, so like I said, it's time to bump him up to 10 rounders, bro. It's time.
Now
it's time. It's time. It's time.
It's a fight that he fought. I think it's this dude right here. No, it ain't him.
Oh, ooh, no. I don't know. That might be too much for him. Now he fighting at 140 now. Anyway, never mind. About to say Jermaine Ortiz.
Hell no. Hell no.
Say that might be a little too much for him. That might be a little too much.
Way too much, nigga. That's how niggas' careers get ended quickly. But hey, but what we see on this channel? What do we see on this channel?
Put his ass in there.
Put his ass in there. That's how I was told. That's why I was telling
if he is even close to what we think he is, let's see something. That's where I'm at as a boxing fan, man. I'm trying to see something. Like when I call for Keyshawn and Frank Martin, or Keyshawn and Kid Austin, or hell, even Kid Austin and Frank Martin. I'm trying to see something, man.
I think these boxers should just get their O out the way nice and early, so they're not just chasing the perfect record. Just get it out the way, bro. So you ain't scared to take certain fights and shit. Get that O out the way.
Who do you feel right now is protecting their O?
Shakur.
You think Shakur is protecting his O?
Yep, and that's my favorite fighter.
But how is he protecting his O? He's trying to fight everybody.
He's doing enough to win. He ain't trying to fight.
That's not protecting your O, though.
He ain't trying to fight Tank just like he wasn't trying to really fight Devin like that. Because if you really want to fight Devin,
I think he really believed Devin was sweet. I think he really believed Devin. I think he'll beat Devin, but that's neither here nor there. That's a whole nother topic. But I think he'll beat Devin. But I really think he thought Devin was sweet, though. You can tell the way he was going at Devin. He really think Devin's sweet. Even with Tank, man, he'll say, he not gonna land that shot on me. He'll give Tank his props, but at the same time, it's like, okay, I want to take that fight, but I think we're closer to getting Tank and Shakur than we are to getting, Shakur and Devin, for sure.
Man, I really wanted that Shakur and Lomachenko fight, really. That's what I really wanted, but
Lomachenko for sure gonna make him throw them hands.
Oh yeah. even though I have my opinion on Lomachenko, I think Lomachenko is a very talented fighter. Lomachenko ain't beat nobody at 135, man. Let's go ahead and be honest about it, man. He ain't beat nobody at 135.
He only beat
His
one
best
black.
work was that. What?
He only beat one black fighter.
Man, that ain't. I ain't even talking about that. I'm talking about he ain't beat nobody at 135, man.
No.
All his big fights at 135, he lost, and I'm including Kambosos in that. Outside of Kambosos' fluke win against Teofimo Lopez, who was, from what I've seen, from what I saw in the Lomachenko fight, and from what I saw when he fought Josh Taylor, which was a masterclass. He completely that's still shocking to me the way he outclassed Josh Taylor. I don't care what nobody say. He outclassed Josh Taylor, and Josh Taylor was that guy at 140 at the time. The way he completely outclassed,
he was.
Man, yes, he was, man. Yes, he was, man. Stop it, Kyle.
Man. People thought he lost to dude. People thought he had lost to the other dude already.
But he didn't know. You talking about what's my man name? Man just beat him. Dang. Catterall.
Mm-hmm.
That was another one of the fights that could have went either. It could have went either way. I wasn't mad at it. It could have went either way.
I'm just saying, nigga, that people thought he lost that fight, so it wasn't like he was just whooping niggas. You know, putting feats on niggas.
What are you talking about?
And what's hurting Josh Taylor, man, is these long layoffs. I think these long layoffs, and I think it's time for him. I think these weight cuts to 140 are hurting him. I think it's time for him to move up to 147. Speaking of which,
who does he beat at 147? Who does he beat at 147?
A lot of them.
Name a champion he beats.
Well, ain't that many champions at one. It's only still two champions at 147.
It's 4 champions.
It's still, man. It's only 2 champions at 147. It's Boots and Bud Crawford.
Nah, Brian Norman Jr.
Interim champion.
No, he the champ.
Interim champion.
All right, let's see.
Interim champion.
Oh, yeah.
Do I think Josh Taylor can beat Brian Norman Jr.? I don't know. And I love Brian Norman Jr. I'd like to see him and Tio go at it.
So, so Bud still got.
You telling me right now, Josh Taylor couldn't beat Blair Cobb?
So the WBA champion is. Oh, he still got all the belts. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, he's still able 2 champions at 147 right now.
The IBF
Bud ain't officially vacated his belts yet. So Brian Norman is the interim champion, right? And as soon as Bud decides to vacate, they'll probably either elevate Brian Norman Jr. to WBO champion or have him fight for the vacant belt. And if Tio decides to move up, Tio will get first crack at it.
Let me see what belt Bud fighting for. Like what belt is on the line?
WBA belt at 154.
Mm-hmm. So why isn't he fighting Stanley? Oh, because Stanley, that's at 147.
Yeah, Stanley is still the one, the regular champ at 147.
It's actually 2 belts on the line. The WBO. The WBO and the WBA.
Yeah, the WBO interim and the WBA super.
Yeah.
Because since he was dubbed super champion at 147 and he could move up and immediately become the mandatory, since Fundura not gonna fight him, as soon as Fundura steps in the ring against Spence, they're gonna go ahead and strip him of the WBO belt. So and then what do you do with Tim Tszyu at that point? I'm trying to remember how this whole scenario was supposed to play out. But yeah, his fight is for the WBO interim and the WBA super.
Yeah, I'm looking at the buddy box rec that he's fighting. He should be able to beat this guy.
But they might do Jamel and Tim Tszyu for the vacant WBO belt.
Man, if I don't see Jamel Charlo fight, it'd be too soon.
Oh man, stop it, man. Now he might have completely mailed it in against old Cinnamon, but he's still a great fighter, man. Even though I think he completely mailed it in against Canelo. That man came in there, got his check, and bounced. You hear me? Why is Big Baby Miller still fighting, man?
Hey, I wanted Big Baby Miller and Big Baby Anderson to fight for the name. That's what
Man, why is that fat bastard still fighting? Who's still giving him license to fight? He fighting Andy Ruiz on August 3rd. I hope Andy Ruiz beat the brakes and rotors off that fat bastard. I can't, man. Never mind. Let me stop.
Man, DJ, you up here cooking, bro. You cooking, man. One thing you pointed out that a lot of people don't notice is at 135, Loma's skills, he kind of become not regular. He's slightly above average, you know what I mean? But he ain't the elite. Anytime he fights somebody elite, they too big for him. At 130, that's where he made a lot of his bones and pickings. But I still would like to see him versus Shakur, man. I think Angles will give Shakur trouble. You know what I mean? Like the last fight that we seen Shakur in, like that guy was dropped by Frank Martin, right? And everybody would rank Shakur pound for pound better than Frank Martin. Not only did Shakur not drop him, but it wasn't like a dominated performance. So I wouldn't mind seeing the Loma Shakur fight, but I think Tank is gonna sleep Loma. And it's a perfect time in his career where we can't discredit him for knocking out Loma because he's still viable. He's not like, you know what I mean? Like Ali versus Holmes type.
Loma's still good. He's still good. So yeah, even though he's 35, 36 years old, and he doesn't have a lot of wear and tear on his body, but his last few fights, Lomas looked good, man. Even in the fight against Devin, he looked good. He put on a good account of himself. His last few fights, he's put on a good account of himself. I think Tank would get, for me, I can't speak for nobody else, he would get full credit knocking Lomachenko out.
I don't know about that. It depends. It depends on how Loma looks before the knockout. If he looks good, then it's like, hey, what can you say? You know, that man just got devastating power. But if he get in there and just age overnight, I don't know.
And I think Tank's skills would be a big cause of that. But my thing going into that fight, who's going to get started first? Because Lomachenko is notorious for not getting started until the sixth round?
True. So, he is a slow starter.
So is Tank. So my thing would be, who's going to lead the dance in that fight? In a fight that I hope happens, right? I really hope it happens, because I think Tank needs to put to bed any of this notion, because you still got a lot of boxing fans out there who say, oh, you dug Lomachenko. Oh, you should have fought Lomachenko when you only had 15 fights. You should have fought Lomachenko then. Why didn't you fight him 10 years ago? Well, he's fighting him now. So I think this is the perfect time for that fight to happen, especially since Lomachenko is not only a champion, but has looked good in his past few fights. If he had looked, lethargic or just getting through fights, and then Tank decided to fight him, that would be something different. But Lomachenko still looks like a world-class fighter.
The fact that he made a guy quit who got never quit on his arm shows him he might be what Teddy Allison said. Remember they would call him No Maschenko?
Yeah, No Maschenko.
So yeah,
they asked him before the fight, are we gonna see the return of No Maschenko?
Bro, he got his work cut out with Tank. He should have went towards Shakur first, then Tank. I don't know what that shows a testament of the type of fighter that he is.
Yeah. Now, one thing I can never accuse Lomachenko of is ducking smoke. Lomachenko ain't gonna duck no smoke now. I give him that much. But I think it was more so of I think it had more to do with Shakur's contract than anything. Why would we give you that big fight on your way out the door? Than than anything that it had to do with Shakur accepting or not accepting the fight. So, we'll see how everything plays out. And they both have the same mandatory too. So
the only smoke Lomachenko ever ducked was the Army. That's the only time I ever see fear in Lomachenko's eyes.
And like a lot of people forget, but it was more so of his contract situation too. But I remember when people were accusing Lomachenko of ducking Mikey Garcia back in the day. But Mikey was going through the whole thing with Top Rank trying to get out of his contract, and he took 2 years off. A lot of people accuse Lomachenko of ducking Mikey Garcia, but that just wasn't the situation.
I don't even think that fight would have been close. I think Loma would have dogged fucking Mikey Garcia.
You think he would have dog walked Mikey Garcia at 135?
Yeah, I think he would have. I never was impressed with Mikey. I think Mikey was just more famous and named than actual skill. I seen him get dropped by no hopers and no names, and I was like, bro, this the guy? Because I remember they was big on Mikey at one point, and I'm like, bro, that's just because the Robert Garcia got Trainer of the Year, and they got that reputation, and we already know what the demographic of boxing look like. But if you actually look at Mikey's resume, Loma beats all those guys. Probably make him quit in the 3rd round. Because I remember at one time the fight that people wanted to see before the Loma fight was
okay. So you think Mikey? Not Mikey, but you think Lomachenko would have made E Bunny quit?
Yes. I think Lomachenko's that guy. I think if Lomachenko was a little bit bigger, the fights at 135 would be closer, and he would probably have the same, stopping people type of reputation. No Lomachenko reputation. He's just undersized for the division. So he's elite, but the other guys are elite too, and they're also bigger than him. That's why they present him with problems like T.O. Even in the T.O. fight, when he came on the second stretch, he was doing fairly good.
He was putting on good work. He was just too far in that hole to dig out of it. And then I think, what was it, the 11th and 12th round when T.O. Because I don't know what happened with T.O. in that fight while he came. I put that more on Lomachenko. I think Lomachenko stepped on the gas, but by the time he did, he was so far down that he needed a knockout to win. I think T.O. won the first 6 rounds of that fight easy. And by the time Lomachenko decided to step on the gas, it was too late.
Yeah, it was prevent defense at that time. It was just hit and hold, keep away, play and keep away.
Yeah. The good old Klitschko technique, right? The jab and grab.
Right. But yeah, I think
if you want to talk about boring, that's who was boring.
But you know what's crazy about that? Klitschko was boring, but he was still getting knockouts. Like, if you look at Klitschko's actual resume and you don't watch the fights, you would swear this motherfucker was a cold motherfucker. You'd be like, damn, knock this guy, knock that guy, knock that guy. Like, this dude is raw. But if you look at the actual fight,
not Vitaly, Vladimir.
Yeah, Vlad. Because I remember one time watching a fight with Vlad. I think Vlad's most exciting fight to me was probably him versus Samuel Peter. And I think Samuel Peter knocked him down like 3 or 4 times, if I'm not mistaken. Beat his ass all across the ring. And Samuel Peter wasn't no world beater. And that's when I knew, like, man, Vlad is overrated like a motherfucker.
Yeah, he came at a time where it was in the transition period, right? Like, I think all the greats of the 90s were starting to retire, and I think Lennox Lewis had retired after he fought his brother. And so all of those guys were starting. Vander Holyfield was older. Mike Tyson was starting to phase out. Like, a lot of those guys, a lot of the great heavyweights from the 90s that started to phase out, and there was a lull. And he fought the best guys of that period, but like you said, it wasn't the names that we were used to.
And then not only that, they didn't get an undisputed because they was brothers. They never fought each other, so it was like you got 2 guys with a 90. Because I mean, Vitaly could punch, but he was boring to me as well. Like, I wasn't excited with his. Didn't Chris Bird beat Vitaly, or was that Vladimir?
I think that was Vladimir.
One of them got beat. Maybe Corey Sanders beat Vitaly.
I know Vitaly knocked out Shannon Briggs.
That's hilarious. The crazy part about that is, man, Briggs was pretty decent, man, but he to me, that whole 90s group was just wasted potential. From the Ika Bucci's to the Shannon
Oh
Briggs,
man.
all of them. Fucking even Riddick Bowe only reigned for like a year and a half, 2 years, some shit like that. Like, he should have had a longer reign. He was washed up at like 28, 29.
But you got to look at it though, man. Them 3 fights with Holyfield, and Holyfield, one of my favorite fighters, bro. Them 3 fights with Holyfield took a lot out of him. They took a lot of years off his career.
It did, bro. But you know what I was more surprised at? Because you know the big guys are normally durable. Like Muhammad Ali, bro. Muhammad Ali was probably washed up, you know what I mean, after the fucking second Frazier fight. But he still was able, because he was a big guy and he was durable. It was surprised me that Holyfield was a smaller guy moving up. That you thought that, you know, he had more good years after the fucking Riddick Bowe fight that Riddick Bowe had. You would think it was like, looking at him, you would think the opposite, because Riddick Bowe so big, you know what I mean, and had a pretty good style. But bro, Riddick Bowe was washed up early, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, some guys just don't get long careers, man. Only 2 fights I was really disappointed in with Holyfield is when he lost to Jar Ruiz, and when he lost to I was pissed off with James Toney when James Toney knocked him out. That pissed me off. Those are only 2 fights I can honestly say that disappointed me with Holyfield.
Yeah, that was shocking.
I couldn't believe. Oh man, I was so pissed off when James Toney knocked out Holyfield, man. John Ruiz kind of pissed me off too, but not to the extent of James Toney. And still
John
to
Ruiz
this day,
was so fucking shocking. I don't even know how he beat
Holyfield.
Holyfield.
1 is still one of my favorite fights to go back and watch to this day.
Yeah, Holyfield losing to John Ruiz is kind of like T.O. losing to Kambosos in my eyes.
Ooh.
Like,
I mean, seeing as how John Ruiz went on to lose to Roy Jones, man, that I see your point.
Because I'm like, how the fuck did you beat him, bro? And then I'm like, I look at it after, I'm like, and then he went on to like Holyfield fought that dude. I can't even remember his name. It was like Nicolo Violov or some shit. Tallest dude that ever graced the ring. He's a big, like fucking Geico caveman looking motherfucker. But he tall as shit, and Holyfield was piecing him up, and he was well past his. He was past his prime. You know what I mean? He was a shell of his shell at that point, and Holyfield was beating him up. And I remember saying to myself, I was like, "We probably gonna see a heavyweight era ushered in where you see the physiques, you see the big tallness, but you don't see the skills, because there's no way he should have done that. If the roles were reversed, even a Holyfield moving up from cruiserweight would have fucked Nicolo Violov up."
You know, 2 guys that I think would have been pretty good now, but they just came along at the wrong time. David Tua and what's my guy named? The Frenchman. Dang, I had his name on the tip of my tongue. Francois Botha. I think both of those guys will be good now. I think they just came along at the wrong time. Especially David Tua. The way David Tua was cracking shit, I definitely think he would have been good now.
Shit, David Tua be undisputed right now. You know why I can't say that? Let me stop. David Tua would be in the talks, only because he lost to fucking Chris Bird. I feel like Usyk is kind of similar to a Chris Bird, southpaw, small in size. You know what I mean? Like, I can see him giving.
He didn't have Chris Bird's hand speed though. He didn't have Chris Bird's hand speed.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I couldn't, but even that's another fight. I look at, I'm like, how the fuck did David Tua not knock out Chris Bird? David Tua was a beast, man, just knocking shit cold.
Look, another guy like I was talking about earlier with Pitbull Cruz, another guy, high guard, no neck, hard to knock him out. So, oh man, but Ika Bucci, man, that's probably the biggest one out of all of them. God, man, why did you have to go to prison?
And you know what's crazy? He on YouTube right now, DJ. He on YouTube. He sent out a message. This is so crazy. He sent out a message that he wanted His Excellency to give him a fight in Saudi Arabia. Like, he gave him his number and everything.
He can't go.
You're right. He can't travel. You fucking right,
He
bro.
he can't go. He a felon. They not gonna let him in.
I guess he think he gonna go build a ring in his house. I don't know what he think.
Oh man, what is he thinking? He can't go. You can't get a passport. How you gonna get a passport, bro? It's gonna take. You know what? It'll take some casino in Mississippi to let him fight somewhere.
Yeah, that's
He
facts.
could probably fight in Mississippi or Oklahoma or in Connecticut, somewhere where they one of these Native American reservations, where it really ain't no commission that'll give him a license to fight. Other than that, man, I don't see nobody giving. Ain't he in his 50s? He's like in his 50s now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I don't see too many people giving him a license to fight. It's a shame that he ruined his career and went to prison, but he's probably going to be one of the biggest what ifs because I really believe he would have knocked out Lennox Lewis.
Oh, I think he got Lennox. I know he would have got Lennox. Well, I'll go back and look at him versus David Tua. He was a bad motherfucker. Like he was supposed to be the next guy up. Like he dismantled Tua, and he can punch as well. And most people can punch and they can't take it. He could take it just like he could dish it out. He was a good combination, and he had a good trainer as well. Trainer was giving him good instructions in the corner.
Not just David Tua. Did you see what he did to Chris Bird?
Oh yeah, that too. And he only had 15. You know what's crazy? That Lomachenko is known for like jumping into tough competition early. Man only had 15 fights and already had David Tua and Chris Bird under his belt.
Right. Because I think he ended his career early. I think it was like 20, 22 fights, something like that.
I thought it was 15. Let me look it up real quick. Hold on.
I think he got the 20 some fights. It was 20 or 22 fights, something like that. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, I think he got the 20 fights. But still, he should have had a long career, man. I think if he hadn't gone to prison, he would have had a long reign.
Okay, so you're right. I knew it was 15 somewhere. 15 knockouts, 20 fights.
15 knockouts, 20 fights. Okay. Yeah, it was just 20. Yeah, I thought he made it 20 fights.
20, yeah. Chris Bird was his last fight.
That was his last fight?
Yep.
Dang, because I remember that fight. I think they fought in Jersey, right?
Let me see.
I think they fought in Jersey. I think they fought in Atlantic City, if I'm not mistaken.
Emerald Queen Casino. I don't know what that said.
But yeah, I remember him knocking out Chris Bird. Remember him knocking Chris Bird senseless, man.
Yeah, he was the guy. And you know what's crazy? Like you said, man, he's sitting up here campaigning, you know what I mean, to try to make up for his wrongs. Like, bro, people don't realize how this opportunity comes once a man, they go back, go listen to Eminem song, bro. That shit be real, bro. You get one chance, bro. Like Shannon Briggs now still trying to buy, let's go check all that. Shannon, you should have, when you had the mantle, bro, you should have did what you had to do. It's too late.
Now he fought the guys. Now I'm not gonna sit here and act like he didn't fight the guys. He just kept coming up short. I think he fought Lennox. He fought Lennox, got beat up. He fought Vitali, got beat up. Who else did he fight and get beat up by? I think it was somebody else he lost to. But he did have a belt at one point. I think he was the IBF champion, if I'm not mistaken.
He had the belts. You know, he got them from Foreman.
Yeah.
And I feel like Foreman won that fight. I feel like Foreman lost to Alex Schultz and they robbed Schultz. And then he won against Briggs and they robbed him against Briggs and gave Briggs the belts. But in that fight with Lennox Lewis, bro, I felt like he could have gave more. As weird as that sound, I felt like he kind of like gassed and kind of like quit a little bit. Like he was looking up at him. He was still conscious. So I felt he blew
his wide. Pause. He blew his wide against Lennox. I remember that fight. He came out, stomped on the gas, trying to get Lennox out of there. And when he couldn't get Lennox out of there, he just gassed out, and Lennox proceeded to beat the living shit out of him.
Yeah, that's facts, brother. But I felt like this is what I was telling somebody, man. I feel like life is like one big troll. When you got the ability and your body's capable, you don't got the mental. Then when you go through life and get the experience and get the mental, well, then your body ain't there no more. It's just like you remember on the Hulk when he was like, man, if I could take my old mind and put it in my young, but it's some shit like that. A lot of the fighters like Shannon Briggs are like that, where they feel like, you know, they could have done more. They know in certain fights. He said in the Vladimir Klitschko fight, he had surgery on his arm, and that's why Vlad beat him. They're like, bro, no, that ain't what happened.
Warp Star Boxing Knowledge. No, Vitali was on Lennox Lewis' ass. The only reason they when they stopped that fight because of that cut, they ruled that cut as a result of a punch. And that's how Lennox got that fight. But nah, Vitali was on Lennox' ass, man. And wasn't that Lennox Lewis' last fight? I think that was his last fight. I think he retired after that.
Yeah, Lennox Lewis was smart. He said, hey, man.
Vitali was on his ass, man.
Yeah, he was. Lennox Lewis they even after the fight, Larry mentioned, so Lennox, you were getting beat up in it. I don't see it like that. He was deteriorating in that. Like Lennox Lewis was mad. We all seen that shit, man. Lennox, you got lucky, bro. You got fucking lucky.
Yeah, because I think they had I think it was either he got caught with an elbow, but it was like one of those punches where the good old, as I call it, the Mayweather special, where he like threw a hook, but the elbow came right behind it and caught him, but they ruled the cut as a result of a punch. And that's how Lennox Lewis got the TKO stoppage. It was a doctor stoppage. And Lennox ended up winning that fight. But I think it was like, it was early in the fight too. It was like 5th, 6th round, if I'm not mistaken.
I think it was 6.
It was 5th or 6th round in that fight. And they ruled that as a result of a punch. So Lennox Lewis ended up getting the doctor stoppage TKO. But nah, Vitali was on his ass, man. Oh man,
that's why Vitali was so mad because shit, he worked hard. He knew he wasn't gonna get that Lennox Lewis shot no more. He knew that was it.
Yeah, only time you really got a Lennox Lewis rematch is if he lost. Well, then he rematched Holyfield, but did he?
That was a robbery. That's why. Remember, it was a draw.
Yeah. And Holyfield came out a few years ago and was like, man, he was like, man, I was out of there. I think it was that second fight. He was like, you caught me with a punch, and all I could think about was don't go down. But man, I was out of there. And Lennox was in disbelief. He was like, man, I didn't know, because I remember Lennox kind of backing off of him when he hurt him. He was like, man, I wish I would have known that. I would have went after you. He was like, man, I was out of there.
You know what's crazy about that is Lennox Lewis and Holyfield won it in a draw, which it shouldn't have been. They blamed Don King, right? In the second fight, I'm not gonna lie, I think Lennox Lewis lost that fight.
You think
so much better the second time?
As much as I love Holyfield, man, he stomped Holyfield out that second fight.
I don't know, man. I went back and scored it, and I mean, shit. I ain't gonna lie, I am biased, man. I don't like Lennox Lewis, but when I went back and scored it, I had Holyfield winning by 1 round.
Oh man, I had him. Last time I watched it, it was about 2 years ago. I think I had it like 9-3 Lennox.
And
I thought he beat the brakes off Holyfield in that second fight. I thought he hurt him at least 4 times in that fight.
Coldest part about that, DJ, is Holyfield in the first fight was telling everybody he was gonna get a 3rd round knockout with Lennox Lewis. That's crazy, man. Holyfield, come on, man.
And by this time, this is when Lennox Lewis was with Emmanuel Stewart, and Emmanuel Stewart helped Lennox start hiding his chin. That's why I miss Emmanuel Stewart, man. I think Emmanuel Stewart could help a lot of these heavyweights now hide their chin. That's what he did masterful with Lennox. He helped Lennox not only adopt that Kronk style and walk forward behind his jab, but he also helped him hide his chin.
Yeah. Emmanuel Stewart had they always say fighters got styles make fights. Trainers got styles as well. Emmanuel Stewart did really well with big guys. He actually preferred to train them, because there was a time where he was supposed to train Mike Tyson. In '96, he was supposed to train Mike Tyson, but he said that he didn't train Mike because he felt like Mike had to leave everybody, his entourage and everybody, and come with him and listen to him. And he said he don't think Mike would have did that. He said if you look through Mike's career, he always leaned on big personalities like Customato, Robin Givens, Don King, and he don't think that he would have left Don King and came with him. So he just said, like, fuck it. It is what it is. He said he preferred Lennox Lewis anyway because he's a taller guy. So he just went with Lennox.
And that was a great decision. Made
Yeah, the
oh
style
man,
was perfect.
I couldn't stand Lennox Lewis. I hated him with a passion, man. Not only because he beat Holyfield, but he beat a lot of my favorite heavyweights, man. So I couldn't stand. He beat Holyfield, he beat Tyson, and I just something about Lennox Lewis I just didn't like, man. I couldn't stand him, but he was cold.
I can't lie. I still don't like Lennox. I still to this day do not like Lennox.
Lennox was cold, man.
I still to this day do not like Lennox. You know why I don't like Lennox? I felt like Lennox was a good fighter. They whole class was fucking good. From him to Razor Ruddock to Tyson to even Terrell Biggs in the amateurs was whooping all their asses.
What's Trevor Berbick?
Berbick, yes. All of those guys was really, really good. I felt like the people who criticize Mike say Mike ain't fought nobody, right? But if you go look at Lennox Lewis's resume, a lot of the guys that he fought were Mike Tyson's like former opponents well past their prime after Mike dogged them. Even Tony Tucker. If you go look at Lennox Lewis versus Tony Tucker, and you look at Mike Tyson versus Tony Tucker, you see two completely different Tony Tuckers. The Mike Tyson, Tony Tucker is on his feet. He's a crunk fighter. He was trained by Emmanuel Stewart, but Emmanuel Stewart left him for the Tyson fight. Well, he had left Emmanuel Stewart for the Tyson fight because he felt like Emmanuel was demanding too much money and it was going to be a big payday. So he split with him. They had like some shit going on before the fight. Like, they used to do the presentations and shit, but they showed that there was a split between them. But he left Emmanuel Stewart. But he still had that Kronk style, and you could see it in the Mike Tyson fight. He looked really good, but when he fought Lennox Lewis, he was fat, overweight. You know what I mean? Had already been like I think he already had 2 losses by the time he got to Lennox Lewis, and I think the fight still went the distance.
And only knock I won't hold against Lennox Lewis, man, as far as that era of heavyweights, Riddick Bowe didn't fight him. Now, I know Riddick Bowe had some stuff going on with the WBC, throwing the belt in the trash, that whole deal. But I still hate that we didn't get that fight. Even though I was real young, right? I still hate that we didn't get that fight.
Oh, yeah, that would have been a classic.
That would have been a classic. At that point, that would have been a good fight.
The fight that we got with Lennox.
Didn't
God just went ghost. He did the LeBron James press conference dip out. But yeah, man, I'm probably for the lead, man. I enjoyed the conversation, DJ. I just pulled up, man. Somebody blocked me from the chat. So I'm gonna jump up on the fucking panel. Shit, they can't block my words.
Oh man, somebody blocked you from the chat?
Yeah, I don't know who it was, man, but they blocked me. They timed me out from the chat. So I just said I'd jump up here and just give my opinion on the panel.
Absolutely, man. Appreciate you for coming through. Coop, you still there?
Shit, Coop done fell asleep.
Coop out of there too. Well, yeah, I'm gonna hop off too, man. Kyle, if you can still hear me, if you're still there, man, I'm gonna hop off. Thank you, Boxing Scholar, for coming through, man. Appreciate the conversation.
Nah, appreciate you, brother. Always good to talk to another person, especially somebody who's well versed in the history, man. You just keep throwing names. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, you right about that. You a fucking cooker. I had to pull up, bro. I ain't heard too many people make that Lomachenko point that you made.
What? How he hadn't beat any elite fighter at 135?
Yes,
he hasn't. Now he's put on good performances, but he hasn't beaten any of the young crop of champions at 135. He hasn't. His best work was 126 and 130. So he hadn't beaten anybody at 135, and I include George Kambosos in that. So because I still think George Kambosos lost to Maxie Hughes, but that's neither here nor there.
Oh, he definitely lost that shit. He definitely fucking lost that fight.
And that was another fight Shakur Stevenson pulled up on. He was telling his dad, he was like, bro, I will beat the shit out of him. Like, no. And I think he would have too. I think he would have beat the dog shit out of Kambosos. Kambosos is the perfect. He's the perfect style for Shakur. That's the perfect style for Shakur. And when they announced that Kambosos and Lomachenko fight, I thought Lomachenko would stop him earlier. I was like, that's not a good fight for George, man. What are they doing?
I thought it would go 12, only because I thought he would have too much heart. I thought if he got stopped, the referee would have to save him from himself. Little did I know, he was like, shit. He got never quit tatted.
Oh no, the corner threw in the towel. The corner he still didn't quit. The corner threw in the towel. Yeah, the corner threw in the towel, man. I think it was what 10th, 11th round. It was late. I think it was like 10th or 11th round. But yeah, his corner threw in the towel. He still didn't quit. He was gonna take that ass whooping.
Yeah, his corner threw it in. I'll be watching that shit on mute.
Yeah. His corner definitely threw in the towel.
But yeah, so with Shakur, man, you know what I want to see out of Shakur, man. I want to see that same. Yeah, we can hear you. I want to see that same tenacity that he got with them Twitter hands. I want to see him let his hands go like he let his fingers go on Twitter inside the ring. If he do that, he'll be a monster.
Yeah, like I said earlier, man, I just think we're all waiting on Shakur, just like we see it with Tank, and like I spoke about it earlier, like we see with Tank, we see Tank hit that second gear. I think we keep waiting on Shakur to hit that second gear, man. And once we see it, I think a lot of his criticism will decrease. But he's at a point in his career where he really hasn't had to. He really hasn't had to hit that second gear, man. Nobody's forced him to do that. And the further he gets along in his career, I think he's going to run into the right person who's going to force him to hit that second gear. And I think if he gets the fight, I think it'll be Williams Zepeda who makes him hit that second gear.
It might have been about 1.5 years or 2 years ago when Shakur, I can't even remember who he fought, man. And I remember I pulled up on the panel. I was on Mark's channel, and I told him, I said, man, look, Shakur is not the goods. Bro, they laughed at me. They told me I didn't know shit about boxing. I need to take scholar out of my name, take boxing out of my name. All kind of jokes. And I told him this then. I said, look, man, I'm not a big fan of Shakur's style. Shakur fight like Mayweather on the second half of his career, but Mayweather had a first half. You know what I mean? They got him to the second half. He had to fight like that because he was an older fighter. Shakur is younger. I was like, do y'all think that style is going to get more exciting the older you get? Everybody know the older you get, the more conservative you get. When you young, you'll take a whole bunch of risks. You know what I mean? You'll touch an electrical socket with a fucking fork just to see what'll happen you know what I mean, when you younger. You older, I got kids and shit to live with. Fuck all that shit. So I'm like, what's going to happen to Shakur's style when he gets older? I told him all these things, bro.
That weight don't fall off like it used to, and you don't heal up as quick. You don't heal up as quick between fights as you used to. But you're right. A lot of people forget, especially people in their early 20s. They don't remember Pretty Boy. A lot of people don't remember Pretty Boy Floyd. Like, I remember when he beat the shit out of Diego Corrales, God rest his soul. I remember when he beat it's still when they show that fight online or whenever that fight pops up, that fight is still hard to watch. Watching him beat the absolute piss out of Arturo Gatti, that fight is still hard to watch. That is still to this day one of the most vicious beatings I've ever seen in my life. Thank God Buddy McGirt was there to stop that fight.
And you know
that was one of the most vicious beatings I've ever seen in my life.
As feather fisted they say Floyd is, and he run and he do all this other stuff, we wasn't expecting to the degree of what we saw with him versus Arturo Gatti, but something similar was just where he knocked him down a couple times. Because remember, Frank Martin knocked this guy down, bro. Frank Martin is not known for his explosiveness, his power, or his aggressiveness. So we like, okay, we think Shakur is rated pound for pound higher. He should at least knock him down once or twice. But not only does he not knock him down, he blames that guy for him not getting stopped or knocked down. It's like, wait a minute, what? So he's supposed to comply in his ass whooping and help you out, number one. And then number two, it's just Shakur don't want to take risks, man. And the Oscar Valdez fight, I remember pointing this out to somebody, and I told him, I said, you go back, I can't remember what round it was, but Shakur looks up at the clock. Well, it was obvious in the last round. But he looks up at the clock and then he just starts running around. I'm like, he could have stopped Oscar Valdez. He had knocked him down multiple times. He was beating the shit out of Oscar Valdez. He could have stopped him. But he looked up at the clock and he just played keep away. And I'm like, he too young for that type shit. Most people, like, even if they feather fisted, Devin Haney tried to stop Kambosos in the second fight. You know what I mean? Like, most people will go for it, especially when they know they got a guy who's just dead in front of them, deflated. And he
Oh yeah,
didn't
that
do it.
second fight with Kambosos and Haney. Yeah, that's how I noticed. That's how I figured out. Like that's what was really that's the fight that really put it over the top for me. That Devin Haney ain't got no crack in his punches. Cause God bless him, he tried to stop Kambosos. He tried. Lord knows he tried. He hit Kambosos with every fiber of his being and couldn't drop him. Couldn't drop him. And I was like, oh, Devin Haney really ain't got no power, huh? Damn. All right.
But yeah, so even that he still took the risk. Cause see, this the thing, this the obvious thing, right? When you open up with power, you're open to receive punches as well. Cause you got to sit down on your punches, you got to focus more. So they're gonna return fire. They ain't gonna just let you get your shit off and be like, oh, don't worry about it. So, you know what I mean? It's gonna be some shit coming back. So a lot of fighters won't take risks. I feel like Shakur, even when he got a dead man in front of him, he will not take risks. And that's why you got people walking out in your hometown, bro. Cause we could see it. We not look, every fight don't gotta be a knockout, bro. But we can see your effort. That's 100% of your control, and we see you giving half-ass efforts. So that's where we're like, I'm good on Shakur. That's where most people like. I've been good on Shakur from the beginning when they was telling me that this guy was a Floyd Mayweather with dimples, or they were saying all kind of weird ass shit. He better. Somebody even said he was better than
That's a
Floyd.
new
I'm
one
like,
for me.
what?
That's a new one for me. I ain't ever heard Floyd Mayweather with dimples. That's a new one for me. But I think, like I said earlier, I think we all. I'm gonna speak for myself, right? I see the talent. To me, he's a generational talent. It's just if he chooses it's just nobody's been able to bring that side out of him, right? He hasn't had to go through any real adversity in his fights. And that goes all the way back to how I spoke about it earlier, that Nakatila fight. Nakatila cracked him one time and he decided, you know what? I'm just going to jab your nose off for the rest of the fight. So it's going to take somebody to constantly put that pressure on him to really make him fight back, really make him go in his bag, so to speak, to really beat these guys, man. I think Shakur is the goods. I think he is a generational talent. But it's not up to me. It's up to him to go out here and show it. To me, he won that fight easily. I don't think I gave Haratunian any rounds. But I noticed probably about the 9th round, the same time Shakur's corner noticed, he's there to be knocked out. But at the same time, Haratunian just started shelling up. He got on his bicycle. Shakur was the one on the front foot, but he just didn't throw enough punches to really, like, Haratunian was ready to go, but Shakur didn't show him the door. To quote Israel Adesanya, some of these guys are ready to go. You just got to show them the door.
Hey, that's facts, DJ. But you know what? I don't think Shakur got it. I think it's the same thing with AB. You remember AB kept making excuses. The same way they doing with Ryan now, right? It's easier to accept reality. It's because we want to give them grace because we like these people. You know what I mean? But if you really think about it, like you think about all the great fighters that ever existed, whatever, no matter what style, regardless of style, when they're in there with somebody who they're supposed to beat, and that person hits them, they become offended, right? And they get that person out of there, or they just start dropping bombs on them like, motherfucker, you know your place. You a bum. You supposed to lose. Shakur got caught in that fight. And he didn't. I seen no urgency out of him. Even his corner had a little bit of urgency. He never displayed it. And then he used the same excuse he used last time he said, I'm gonna work on cutting the ring down a little bit more. Y'all don't really know what's going on in camp, and I don't want to make no excuses. A fighter finna make some excuses when they say, I don't really make excuses, but after that you finna get an excuse, right? I had a hand injury, all this other stuff. This fight with no hand injury, you know what I mean? Shakur been boxing since he was probably like 7, 8 years old. I don't know the actual age. Don't take me at face value with that. But he's been boxing since he was young. He knows how to cut the fucking ring down. He knows how to stop fighters. But under them lights, bro, he just can't get it done. It's something missing at Shakur. There's an ingredient that's missing from him to make a great fighter. I don't think he'll ever achieve it.
And see where you think he won't ever achieve it. I say it's gonna take the right dance partner. It's gonna take the right dance partner to pull that shit out of him. To really make him like, man, who do you think you are? Like, last Saturday it just seemed like, oh, you easy work. I'm gonna get out of here. I know you're not gonna touch me. You're not gonna touch me. Yeah, I know you're not gonna knock me out. So, if I can get out of here with no injuries, no, you're not offering no real resistance. So why should I, step on the gas? I can't speak to his mindset, but that's just how I look at it. It's gonna take the right guy to really pull out everything we want to see in Shakur.
I don't know, man. I just look at a guy his age, you know what I mean? And I say, um, him and Loma would be a 50-50 fight. And that shouldn't be. Like if Sugar Ray had fought well, even Hector Camacho, Sugar Ray was a bad motherfucker in his prime. But when he was aged and you know what I mean, on his way up out the sport, it wasn't even a close fight between him and Hector Camacho. And it wouldn't have been with Sugar Ray and Hector if it was the ages were reversed. And I look at Shakur and I say, Lomachenko's an older fighter, but if they fought, that would be a 50-50 fight where Loma might actually be favored to win. And I'm like, it shouldn't be like that, bro. Like the evidence is suggesting that Shakur is not that guy. Like maybe we, you know what I mean, we threw him to greatness too early. Like you just said, they gotta want it for themselves. And they actually gotta have the background. Like a lot of people think that shit start the night of the fight. Bro, that shit started in childhood, bro. That shit what Bud look what Bud Mama put him through, bro. Like that shit started in childhood. That moment that he had with Spence, that shit didn't start that night. That shit started in childhood, bro. There was no way he was gonna beat Bud, bro. Bud's stone cold killer, created by his mama. You know what I mean? His mama's tough ass, whatever she put him through, made him that stone cold killer that he is to this day. And I think that Shakur just don't got it. Because even afterwards, I pay attention to him. I'm looking at him. He talking gangster to fucking Cam and Mace and what he gonna do to them. It's just like, bro, come on, bro. Like, bro, we done already seen you get into a
Yeah,
fight.
that whole situation, man. Like both sides of it. Like y'all, come on, man, cut the shit. Like, come on, man, just stop. Just stop. Both parties, right? And I don't think Mace is a trash rapper because I'm old enough to actually remember Mace when Mace was really out here when he murdered Mace. But Shakur is 24, 25 years old. What does he really know about Mace, right? And to me, that fight wasn't boring. Shakur's fight Saturday wasn't boring. I just felt like going into the fight, and I told Kyle this earlier. I had a conversation with my guy L-Dub about it. Like I felt like going into that fight, especially coming off his performance with De Los Santos, I felt like Shakur really needed to make a statement in that fight, and he didn't do it. He won the fight going away, which is the ultimate goal. But I felt like he really needed to make a statement, and he didn't do that Saturday. Nothing wrong with his performance other than the guy was there to be got, and Shakur didn't get him. So,
But you know what's crazy? I was telling somebody because you know who X is. He a boxer. He loves Shakur.
do I know who is? I'm sorry.
His name X.
No.
He loves Shakur. He said AB got him in the boxing. He might be like what 21, 22. He's a young guy, but he loves Shakur. He always used to have back and forth with me about Shakur because I would be, tell him Shakur's not the goods. And fight night, he pull up because he come on, man. We know the level, the skill gap between Shakur and his opponent, right? And then Shakur talking that good shit during the press conference to get people that fuck with him hype, So he like, oh shit, he hype. Yeah, Scholar, yeah. Then fight night come, bro. During the fight, he was so underwhelmed. He was like, God damn, Shakur. He was like, damn, Shakur, like, bro, like, don't let your hands go. You got like a dead man in front. He just, by the end of the fight, bro, he was just disappointed, bro. He was so disappointed in Shakur. He said he keep telling people that Shakur's the goods, like people that are casuals, and then they tune in and they be texting like, bro, what the fuck? Like, stop watching boxing, bro. This dude's trash. But yeah, man, Shakur, bro, I don't know. I've never been big on Shakur. I've never been big of that type of style of fighting because I watch a lot of the old school, the James Tonys, all that. Those guys, you don't get you don't get credit. Well, you do get credit, but it's not enough to just make a guy miss. You have to throw something back. I've never seen a guy, but other than the Simpsons, like pass out from missing so many punches. You know what I mean? Like you have to hit them back, Shakur. You got to take risks. And if you don't, I mean, be okay with the results. And that's where we are. The results of you not taking risks is, yeah, you got to fight. I mean, clean sweep. You won the fight, but people are criticizing your performance. You have to take risk in the ring, no matter what the level is. Because if I'm in there with a bum, I'm gonna show everybody this is a bum that don't belong in the ring with me. And if I'm in, like he was cautious with that guy, like he was fighting Tank. It's like, bro, what the fuck?
And Kyle, what do we say in the boxing section? If a guy ain't supposed to be in there with you, get his ass out of there.
Facts. He should have got him back to his dressing room when he was walking down the ring walk.
Speaking of ring walks, like I said earlier, I think them judges in the old Shaggy Foster fight filled out their scorecards when they was doing the ring walk.
Oh, they had it filled out before then. They was at lunch with Conceicion's team. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So you want to win this round? That one? You want that one too? They would just let them pick one round. That shit was crazy, bro. They weren't even watching the fight. And the sad part about it is, I can remember it was a fight. It was a local card in San Antonio, and I went to it. When I went there as media too, right? And I remember, the guy that invited me, I ain't gonna say his name, but the guy that invited me, one of the guys that I actually sparred in the gym was on the card. I'm like, holy shit, like small ass world, you know? And cause I didn't know he was fighting. I got him on Facebook and everything. He was announcing a fight. I didn't know it was that event. So he goes in there. He's from San Antonio, so home cooking should be in the play if we going by unofficial boxing rules, right? So the guy should technically be down 2 rounds. And it's a 4-round fight. Then he knocks the guy down twice and still loses the fight. And then after the fight, I'm talking to the guy that invited me. He's like, well, I try to tell him that you got to knock guys out. And I'm like, bro, boxing is the only sport where winning ain't enough. When you're facing the favorite, winning's not enough. Football, when the Patriots was undefeated, bro, that would be like the referee going after throwing a flag for Eli Manning for holding the ball too long or some stupid ass shit where they got to run the shit back and get a Patriots another chance to stop them. It's like, bro, no, we get it that you're the favorite or whatever the case may be, but no, winning should be a fucking enough. Especially when you from the hometown. See, the only reason they gave the guy the fight, he was from California, so he shouldn't have won technically, but he was Mexican, and it was Mexican judges, so he ended up getting the decision.
Who was that? That last match?
This is a local card.
You talking about?
Oh,
About to say
gotcha.
you talking about a Mexican in Texas, man.
Gotcha. Word.
What's up, Steph?
What up? What up? Be well, man. Shout out to the panel. Shout out to fucking Kyle there. We got Coop in the house, and it was at the Boxing Scholar. Did I see that?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah. What's up with it, man?
What's up, bro?
Uh, None. Just trying to pass out of here. And then I saw Kyle. I was like, oh shit. Um, Man, I just want to comment on Shakur real quick. Look, man, he can't punch, man. Meaning like he's not putting his punches together like that. All that pot shot stuff, a lot of he not the only one either, man. These dudes don't. I don't know. Either they don't know, or they're you know not listening to their trainer, or the trainer's not training them. But he didn't put it together there. I think his defense is good, man, top notch, A1. But you're not putting it all together in there, man. And then I saw just trying to cut up a wee bit. I saw that meme where where Cam and Mace were like sleeping on him. I was like, yo, I thought that was pretty funny.
Oh
But
yeah, Cam and Mace gave him 7 kinds of hell, man. And then that picture of Bud
no, they were
Crawford
just
and Andre
sleeping. But
Ward
like
sleep at the fight didn't help at all.
I dang near fell asleep, man. But like I was hoping that he was gonna listen to his grandpappy there and get her done. But I don't think me. he don't know how to put his punches together. And the same could goes for my boy young Devin Haney, man. Dev don't put his punches together, not like that. And then I was listening to what listen, man, not like that. Boxing scholar was talking about he watches some of the old films. For sure, man. Those guys were throwing hands, man, throwing combinations, using angles, uh, looking for the twitch muscle skills, man, putting it together, man, putting some English on it. Shakur in fashion thought he was gonna put uh, Artem away with one punch, and then I think at most he threw three punches, nothing more. So whatever, ain't nothing new, man. He kind of been like that, and not and then you compare him to someone like Tank. When Tank gets you up out of there, man, of course it's coming ferocious power, but like, look at his last knockout. He knocked Frank out first with the uppercut, then came over with him. It's like 3-4 punch combination. A lot of guys
Left
aren't
uppercut,
doing
left hook. Left uppercut, left hook.
that. A lot of guys aren't doing that though. A lot of guys are not doing it. But if y'all saw Abdullah a little earlier in the night, man, he showed, or I'm sorry, gives a lot of hope, man. He gives me hope. He's, at 20 years old, he's real nice, man. That's a guy who does know how to fight. It's a guy who knows how to use his everything about him, his angles, his reach. He got a little power with him, and he lightning quick. But he can see it because he's using his body. He know how to use his body. Interesting stuff, man. Interesting.
I was saying earlier, it's time to step him up, man. It's time to step him
Yeah,
up.
B
Quit
minus
playing
guys.
games. It's time to step up Abdullah Mason, man.
Yeah, B minus guys for sure. He ready. That's what I thought. I was impressed. Because he gets rid of guys so quick. So I'm like, man, you never know. But yeah, man, he looked nice. I was very impressed with his last outing. I was happy. Again, he gives me hope. Guys like him.
Him, Xander, Shoo, Troy Isley, they give me hope.
Xander,
You know,
he ain't doing it. He
Next
ain't
year,
doing it for me
by this
either.
time next year, Shoo will be fighting for a world title, man.
He not doing it for me either. I still got my boy Jai over him.
you know what's crazy, man. I remember getting a lot of flack one time for comparing Shakur. I called Shakur the Adrian Broner 2.0, bro. They thought I was fucking mad, bro. I said, bro, I look at that man's out of the ring antics. He getting into street fights and all this other shit. He won't let that gangster element go. He want to be attached to a street element, and he don't let his hands go. There's a lot of similarities between him and AB. The only difference is he's more disciplined with his conditioning than AB. Other than that, they have a lot of similarities.
I see what you're saying there, Boxing Scholar. I see what you're saying. Um, However, whether we like it or not, Adrian Broner, I don't even want to say it. Oh yeah, who cares about that? Never mind. I got nothing on that.
Oh, it's over for AB. He out there missing teeth, bro. He getting
Nah,
his teeth knocked out in the ring, bro. It's over.
not that, not that. I was well. I'll say it now. I was gonna say, he's a former pay-per-view fighter. He been to the top. Been to the top.
Oh, it's facts. Yeah,
Yeah,
4 times.
yeah, for sure.
Hey,
Uh,
was it me or was Shakur arguing with us? Was that the way he talks to his grandpa? I never watched his fights like that. Is that the way he talks to the guy in the corner? They argue like that? Did it seem like they were arguing, or that's just the way they converse during the fight?
you just
Man, sound like an
believe.
argument. He did a whole interview on Cigar Talk
That was an argument. That
explaining
was an
that.
argument. His grandfather was telling him, look, you can get this guy out of there. And Shakur kept saying, I got him. He's just trying to survive. He was like, no, I need more punches. Get him out of there.
Yeah, he could have at least got him to a knee had he listened to his grandpappy. But he that's another thing. Okay, that's a good point. Now that we're chopping on that, right, Pittsburgh? How you got Floyd Mayweather in your corner? You got my goat and Andre Ward. You got Terrence Crawford. All that game, and like you just not listening, dude. Young Sir is fucking hard headed, man, and that's why he's getting the business in these boxing streets.
Well, it's like watching 90s basketball when they score 60 points. Don't nobody want to see that shit, bro. You got to throw some offense out there, man.
Yeah, but if you heard me earlier, Pittsburgh, I think Shakur don't know how to put his shit together, man. He kind of been like that, man. I think when he stopped, I thought it was nice when he stopped Robinson Fonseca, whatever his shit is, and then of course the Oscar win. But I think Oscar Valdez sucks, has always sucked. But yeah, other than that, man, that's how you do it, man. Yeah, I guess
Well,
you
I
can
mean,
call him
maybe he
a
just
figure.
don't. Maybe just don't get power though. That's the other thing. Stuff. Maybe he just don't get power. And
That's
then the
fine
problem is
though.
that if he throw actual combinations, it wouldn't be a problem. But the guy throwing like one shot here and there, like, bro, that's not gonna get it, man. Like, get
Yeah,
out of
but
here with
that's
that.
not having power. That's fine, man. Because you see it. Another you bring me another good point, man. You got to set up the knockout. Had he listened to his granddaddy, it'd have been fine, man. He would have been beating up on this dude. You'd have been, set him up with the jab. You can do so much. You can set your offense up. You can set your defense up. You can take a break. You could. That's when you really kind of pish poshing right there. He was the younger, more robust, you know, strengthier guy. He was the bigger guy in that fight, but he thought he could just get him out there in one shot. To me, that's what tells me you don't know how to put your shit together, man. You just kind of smelling your own shit, thinking you're the shit. But he's good. He's really good.
Salute Reggie. What's up, fellas?
What up? What up?
Man, he good. He
Yo,
just
what
ain't
up?
that, bro. Just ain't that.
Oh, that's what you mean. I was like, wait, Reggie up in here? What up, Reg? Be well, man. Yeah. How you doing, Pittsburgh?
Chilling, bro. Yeah,
Must
that
be.
fight was a real snoozer, bro. I don't get him, man, and I don't. People like him kind of piss you off because you the consumer and you telling him, hey, look, I don't like the product you giving me, and you're like, oh no, you just don't know what you're looking at. Like, wait a minute, motherfucker, I'm telling you, I don't like this shit. Like everybody telling you they don't like it, and you're like, no, it's good. You just don't know what you get. Like, fuck out of here, bro.
Yeah, but like, man, we live in Twitter X world and fucking, the power of social media where like an athlete like Shakur can respond, can actually interact with us, So whatever, man. He he gon' he feeling a certain type of way, I guess. Whatever. Keep telling him he fucking suck, bro. I ain't fucking buying that shit. Maybe he'll listen. But like I said earlier, man, you got all that game around you, man, and like, what the fuck? Whatever.
Yeah, but
Next.
some people that's probably like, I don't know, man. Everybody receives that stuff differently, man. You got to be hungry when you're around stuff when you can get that kind of game. And I don't think he's some people he might. To me, it seems like he feels like he already got there and he ain't did shit. And that's why he ain't listening.
Yeah, I feel that too. Yeah, yes, sir. Entitlement. Yeah. Um. Uh. Again, A, it's all good, and B, next, whatever. Get the smoke.
Well, it's like Garcia and Tio. You see Tio hanging out with Garcia, and
Which
Garcia,
Garcia?
uh, Ryan Garcia hanging out with
Oh,
Tio, and Tio and them doing an interview. And Tio's like, "Oh man, we all take crazy shit. It's all right. They can't cancel no for It's freedom of speech." Like, oh
yeah.
okay, all right,
But
cool.
then
That's what you want.
hey man, they always cool with each other though. When they get around. I don't think I've ever seen them like, you know, get combative, even in a joking way. They've always kind of been cool. And then, and then
Cool.
also, that's just two boneheads, man, hanging out. Shoot
Nah,
the
that's
shit.
racist right there. Dog. It's moleheads and then there's racist people, dog, and all that. The guy had a mental breakdown. I don't know what kind of mental breakdown or what pill you make to make you just distinguishedly pick out black people and call them niggers all day. You ain't do that with no other group. So it's kind of strange, man. I don't know what kind of mental breakdown. If that's the
Man,
case, bro, if that's
That
the
was
case, the
Ozempic.
mental hospital
but
should be full
Pittsburgh,
of.
but Pittsburgh, fucking man, white folks been saying nigga, you know, nigger, fucking niggas, or whatever. They've been saying that, man.
Oh no, no. White people got enough sense not to do that shit.
Non-black people
No,
been
white
saying
people got
that.
enough sense not to say that shit. When they do, they immediately
Apparently
apologize.
not.
These motherfuckers,
Yeah,
he ain't
that
white
we
though,
over
dog.
here,
That's the difference.
that we
He
over here
not
getting
white.
on.
Yeah, he not white.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
white people immediately would apologize. These motherfuckers be trying to explain to you the root of the word and all this other goofy ass shit, and then they get all these old coon ass dudes, super coons, running out there trying to cape for them, man. That shit's crazy, man.
Yeah, you can't talk to nobody like that though, man. You know that people like that, they just they talk to you. No. They'll ask you a question just to get a response, and you'll never get a word in. It's just to get your response. That's it. You can't talk to nobody like that, man. Ryan Garcia is a bonehead and a racist, apparently. I mean, what else is he gonna do, man? Shit, you know, he's banned for a year.
Yeah, but that ain't no real man though. A year, he probably wouldn't have fought in a year any fucking ways, bro. That ain't nothing.
How old is Ryan these days?
25, 26, something like that.
All right, there you go. He's a bonehead and a racist. Oh man. Oh well,
I
man.
mean,
Fuck him.
but that's
NFL.
like arguing people about their fights and telling you that the drugs don't matter. Like it don't matter if he took drugs. Like it's
Oh, you can't tell
fucking
them.
crazy
You
argument.
can't tell them that
That's
either. Though. You can't tell them nothing. You know, they're an expert. You know, it's all good. That was a mess, right, Pitt? That was a mess. That was an
I
utter
mean,
mess right there. That was terrible. We had to
I
have a
mean,
conversation about it. I didn't really comment too much, Pittsburgh. I was like, man, whatever, dog.
I mean, I don't know, man. Boxing fans are a little weird, man. Some of the arguments that they got to have in boxing is only exclusively to boxing. So there's no other sport that you take PEDs and then the fans are like, "Oh, that shit don't matter. None of that matters. What are you talking about? It makes no difference." Like, what?
I
Three
don't know.
pounds overweight
Baseball
doesn't
fans are
matter
cool with it. Football fans are cool with it. They're like, hurry up and
when
get back.
everybody
Like
else is.
week 8, week 9, hurry up.
Nah, but baseball was cool with it in the '90s when everybody was doing it. Everybody was cool with it.
But
When
you
you're the
see,
only motherfucker
but you know
doing
what
it,
though?
that's not the same shit.
They be paying like 80 something games and shit, so it's a lot of wear and tear on your body. But like they don't get nothing to like. Well, football players get CTE, but baseball players they shouldn't have other than fucking like when they sliding home and shit like that. They shouldn't have that many fucking concussions or head collisions. So people, bro, I think if they allow steroids in every other sport but boxing, I don't think anybody would be upset at that, bro. But the fact that when you do that, you know what I mean? They gonna start circumventing they gonna get better at cheating because it's gonna be out in the open. They gonna start circumventing their way around boxing because all the cheaters in boxing are strength and conditioning coaches that have cheated in other sports and just made their way to boxing because it's the Wild Wild West.
Yeah, yeah, and just yeah, man. Frankly, we just don't know who's popping dirty. You know, they're trying so many different things and trying to mask it in many different ways. And you got to think at the same time if these labs are even testing for such substances. So it's definitely
I
a
tell you what though,
actually
bro,
difficult process.
they scared of Vada. Fighters do not want to use Vada. Vada pop people, bro. Vada actually do their job.
Yeah, yeah, they're supposed to. They're supposed to pop you
But
for sure.
But USADA does testing, but they don't be popping nobody. And then when they pop somebody, the fight still continues after they know, like before the fight, they know they have a dirty test, and they don't like nothing happens. They still allow them to fight and everything. That's why fighters be scared of VADA, bro. As much shit as they talk about VADA, they use every excuse not to use it. Oh, they associated with Snack and Victor Conte. Oh, this is and that. But all of people who go use Snack, if they're on something, they get popped.
let's right. I feel you, but I feel you, scholar. I feel you. Just um, also, I just want to add to it. That's a big gray area. Um, because again, you have fighters who do represent snack who are clean, and then of course, it's a case by case because it's like, man, it depends on who it is, man, and if they're doing it or not. And then if you open that can of worms, throw some more details in there. How long have they been doing it? How long it just keeps going down. So my point is, it's just that I also want to add that I think that's also a huge grader too, man. You never know, man, who's popping. You never know. You never know. You only know, man, if both men nowadays, one and two, if they both sign up to be tested to go through such a process. Is every fight sanctioned by Vito? Is that something that has to be agreed upon?
Nah, nah, it has to be agreed upon between both fighters.
Yeah, see, like that's the only way you would know. Only way, at
So,
least
and
us, the mass public would know. Like if both guys sign up for it, and then one guy
so,
pops.
so with the Vada thing and the snack thing, bro, I think that Margaret Goodman, she's been in the sport for a long time, even before she got over Vada. She used to be like responsible for, fighters not fighting, the help, like protecting the fighters outside the ring. And then she transitioned over to the Vada area. But I feel like she's hurting her brand by associating with Victor Conte because his shady past and et cetera. And I don't even think, like, I did a whole special about how overrated that guy is. He didn't even come up with the Balco shit. He was just the face for it. He's always been a guy that wants to be famous for being famous. So when he attached himself to, clean sport and Vada, et cetera, it kind of does give it a bad stigma. But I get why they did it because Margaret Goodman is not out there in the public, just boasting, hey, Vada this, Vada that, and got a Vada t-shirt with a Vada cap. She's not going to be that. So they allow Victor Conte to go out there and promote them because fighters have to agree to use it. If they're not using it or using the testing because they claim it's more expensive, that's what they use because they don't want to get caught cheating. But they say, oh no, it's more expensive. So fighters won't go out there and use it for that reason, and then they got to make money. You get what I'm saying? Like they got that testing agency has to make money and they got to make it through promotion. So that's why they allow Victor Conte to operate the way he operates. But I still think it might be bad for the integrity. But I get why they do it the business wise.
Yeah, and on that note, there, scholar man, tell me, man, tell me about some of your favorite boxers in today, man. Since we're getting to know each other
Today or all time?
today, you stick stop.
Today, it's a couple I like. I like Bud. Uh, I like in a way. Um, who else? Tank. Look, I ain't gonna lie, man. I criticize Tank a lot, but only because I think Tank has a ton of potential. I want to see it tested. Like I'm tired of these like non-50-50 fights. But Tank, he's up there as well. Trying to think somebody that I was just like, oh, this motherfucker's good. Matias. Even coming off the loss, I still think Matias is a very good fighter. I think
You
he's a
like
good fighter.
Matias? You like
Yeah,
Matias?
Christian and Bealey. I like him and Christian and Billy have really good styles to me. Where like they fight. They have like a Joe Frazier type grit, where a fighter just ain't gonna get in there and just dog them out. Even if you do win, you're gonna earn your check that day. I like that style of fighting. It's a couple. I can't think of it offhand, but those are a couple that I like today.
Yeah, that's word, man. That's word. I like at the end there. You said you like Mitten Billy's style for sure, for sure. I dig it. I dig it. That's cool, man. What about all time?
All time, Ali, Tony, Roy Jones, Tyson, definitely. Uh, who else we got in there? Shit, the all time is too many, bro. Marvin Hagler, Sugar Ray. But there's some fighters that I watch, bro, on film, and I just be like, I get crunk. Like if I'm at the fucking fight, like if it's happening today, and it's rare. Joe Louis, I get that feeling. Roberto Durant, Ray Leonard, Tyson, and a couple of Ali fights, but nobody else be giving me that type of feeling, bro. Where like I could be in the moment. You get what I'm trying to say? Like
Yeah,
Like I
no,
feel the hype
totally,
that they was feeling.
totally. I'm with that too, man. I do the same thing, man. I watch those old experts and that lead into the fight. It's like a 2 hour thing. They show, they used to show how the fighters prep and original trash talk and behind the scenes type stuff. HBO and get to it, man. And the shit be rocking, right? The stadium be rocking. Go watch them old like. You know who does a good job of that? Every once in a while, Reggie does a good job of that, where he's got the commentary going in the background with a good fight.
You talking about Reggie Owens?
Yes.
Yeah, he's a superior West Coast black. Those West Coast blacks, they normally get that feeling.
Yeah, man. I'm out here too. I'm in SoCal, man. I'm in the Orange County area. Been here for a while.
But yeah, it's a couple of my life. Not too many though. Like when I was telling DJ earlier, people like Scholar, you don't like Shakur? I'm like, bro, I've been on the Shakur. I ain't gonna say smear campaign because I just tell the truth about him. But I've been on this like Shakur's not the guy shit for probably 2 years now, bro. And I can remember being met with all kind of resistance. I remember literally on a panel, like people just getting shit because Shakur not only was I didn't like his style in the ring, but he said that Muhammad Ali would get beat by Tyson Fury. Boy, that age well, right? Said that
Man,
he would get
man,
beat.
they just, they be talking. Let me say this, not that I'm like blowing that off or anything, man, but uh, um, you know, the Terrence Crawford Errol Spence matchup, man, and the lead up to that, man, it actually taught me how to, dare I say, be a fan, man. And I'm just a fan because that's something I got really into, man. Frankly, embarrassed, but um, taught me how to
Who
just
was
be
you
a
going
fan,
for?
man.
Spence?
Yeah, I'm a big Spence guy, man. I love Earl Spence, man. I'm originally from Texas, born and raised from Dallas, so big time fan of
Oh
big time.
shit. I'm from
Yeah,
Texas
man.
too, bro.
Yeah, but that don't matter, man. That don't matter to me. Again, now, and frankly, since it just made me enjoy more boxing and why I originally got into it, rather than being hung up on a boxer, some boxers, what she said. I don't give a shit, man. Just get the smoke. Oh, you the best? All right, you should be fighting the best. Oh, you think he's the best or he's up next? All right, get it on, man. Get it on. I want to see it. Get it on. No more excuses, man. Get in there and just fucking give me the science. Give me the best. Give me everything what you got.
Yes, that shit probably taught a lot of people the same thing, bro. It's because people get too involved, especially nowadays that everything is instant. People get too
Sure.
involved with these fighters, bro, to where I mean, it was a lot of death threats issued. It was a lot of bets made in Israel, and you know what I mean, $1,000 bet,
Is
$2,000
Ben
bet. You're
still
like, bro,
gone? Is
what
Ben
the
still
fuck?
gone?
You said what?
I said, is Ben still gone? I haven't heard his voice in like,
Nah, he returned. He returned back.
oh, okay. Been like a year. Damn.
No, he
Well
returned
over.
back. He said he had to pay a couple of them debts off before he came back. That's what he said. So, but yeah, man, it was that every conversation, bro. We will be talking about fucking chihuahuas, and all of a sudden we'd end up in Errol Spence versus Bud talk. So that fight was like it definitely didn't deliver. You know what I mean? For one side, it didn't deliver because like even if people thought like their person would lose, they thought it would at least be a more competitive fight. But like that's what I be trying to tell people, bro. Like we can't be in a sport where we say styles make fights, right? And
Nah, they
then
do.
you
Nah, they do. They
and
do.
then you get a style that you know what I mean, and they throw the fighter away for fighting a style that's not
Yeah,
conducive
but
to their.
scholar, call it excuse. Man, Errol he never recovered off the first knockdown, man. That's why the fight sucked. He never recovered, man.
Errol Spence didn't cover after he was thrown from a Lamborghini at 100 miles per hour. I brought this up.
Sure you could say that. Sure you could say that, but the man is still walking, talking, and breathing, and still currently fighting.
Bro, but this is what I was trying to explain to people, and they wouldn't listen to me. They would, you know what they would tell me? You from Texas? How you going for Bud, bro? What the fuck does that have to do with my logic? So this is what I would try to explain to them, bro. I said I've watched Errol Spence before, And I remember Errol Spence. Freddie Roach said that Errol Spence was going to be the next guy up, and this is way back. This before even the sparring wars came out with him and Floyd Mayweather that made him even more famous. This is Errol Spence that was just stopping shit. That went through fucking Chris Algieri, made light work of him. Went through Lamont Peterson. You go back and look at Errol Spence early. He is a completely different fighter. Errol Spence after the car wreck was dazed by Danny Garcia. Danny Garcia wouldn't have fucked with Errol Spence in his prime. Then he was also dazed by Ugas. Ugas is not even a puncher. And I remember in that fight, I picked Ugas to beat Errol Spence. And what I said is Errol Spence is not the same since the car crash. And I think this is a better time than any for Ugas to pull this fight off. If he has any chance of winning, it's now. And I said, I'm going to favor Ugas. I think Ugas is going to counterpunch Errol Spence to death. That's what I said during the fight, bro. After the fight, the Errol Spence fans couldn't wait, bro. Oh, I told you, Scholar, change your fucking name. I need to put Scholar in my name. I was like, bro, he was hurt by him. Ugas is not a puncher. I'm like, I think today you got away, but you ain't get off completely. I said, just watch. And the very next fight was fucking Bud Crawford. And we saw what happened in that fight. And we seen all the stuff. Now they talking, after that fight, they was like, you know what? He ain't been the same since the car wreck. Oh, you think? Somebody should have told you that. Oh, wait, I fucking did tell you that. You just didn't listen. I told everybody that before the fight. They waited till after the fight to jump on it because they felt like it was an excuse. But no, it was just the reasoning for why I picked Bud going. I think Bud would have beat him even if he didn't get in a car wreck. But the car wreck didn't help. You're in a sport where you're taking damage to your fucking brain, bro. Do you think being thrown out of a Lamborghini at 100 miles per hour, where you were in a coma, say you didn't have your memory, got teeth knocked out of your mouth, and you're going to get back in the sport of boxing and be the same fighter? Absolutely fucking not.
Huh. I'll let that breathe and I'll digest that. And, yeah, cool, man. Straight.
But yeah, after I said that, I was getting bro. I'm gonna start going back. I'm gonna start going back time stamping stuff when I say it months or years in advance, and everybody criticized me, and then only for it to come to pass. The same thing with the Shakur shit, bro. I told everybody Shakur is not that guy. Oh man, Scholar, you don't know what you're talking about. How the hell could you say this? And then now look at it. People walking out of his fucking fights in his hometown, bro.
Maybe they're trying to beat traffic.
Huh?
I said maybe they're trying to beat traffic. But, man, on that note, Scholar, boxing's very decentralized. And you fast forward to present day, it seems like, and not to say that they never couldn't make things work, but it seems like everyone's getting along as far as promotion goes, and allowing to get their granted, PBC took a moment to get a schedule and then get their TV rights deal going, but it seems like everyone's, we're in a good funk. So what I'm saying is it's decentralized as far as like the guy. I don't think, you could, you throw Bud in there. Some people will throw some heavyweights in there. Some people will throw Canelo in there. Tank, of course, in there. Being the face that is. So we got a lot of guys, man. We got a lot of guys. Yeah, I'm very hopeful they'll just continue to keep it going, keep the smoke going, man. I'm really excited for Arthur Beterbiev and Dimitri Bivol. I'll tell you right now, before injury, I called Bivol to win that. I got him winning that in a master class. He can go in there and shock the world. I'm really stoked for that. There's one more, of course, Bud and Madrimov. I'm here in LA, so I plan to go to that, be at that. That should be a fun experience. Should be pretty packed out as well. People will
I
turn
don't
up
think,
now.
bro. I don't think that what you said was that absurd because I picked Bivol as well. And bro, there's another one I get criticism for. Better Beef.
No, he gonna
Criticize
stunt,
the
bro.
Better
And
Beef.
Beterbiev is a monster, man. Every sense of the word. Sorry to cut you, but every sense of the word of it, like pound for pound, man. I think he's pound for pound beast. I just think Bivol gonna go in there, man, and box him up and break him down, man. He's never been in there, but he haven't fought anyone as good as Dimitri Bivol, man. Dimitri Bivol is pretty dang good, pretty solid
Wow.
fight.
So I disagree. I think Better Be is extremely overrated, bro.
Whoa,
Extremely.
whoa.
That's fine.
I let y'all cook for a long time, but I can't take that.
Go ahead.
You said Better Beef is overrated?
Absolutely.
Oh no.
Okay, well, give me.
Everybody got in there with damn near died.
Okay, well, before Deontay Wilder fought Fury, everybody got in there, damn near died. That's what power does. It bails you out. But outside of power, what skills does Better Beef have? He don't got head movement. He's flat footed. He's there to be hit.
He's not there to be hit, bro. You crazy?
Better Beef always be, bro. He's bloody. He was bloody as shit in the Marcus Brown fight because he doesn't move his head.
That was a headbutt.
Better Beef get caught with every punch under
That
the
was
kitchen
a
sink.
headbutt. And what did he do after he got that headbutt?
What's the dude that just fought the monster?
Listen, Marcus Brown even fought again. Has he fought since? Let's look that up.
I don't think he has.
Let's look up. Let's see if
What
Marcus Brown.
I'll tell you exactly. I'll address that as well. What's the guy that just fought? What is his name? God damn it, I forgot. He fights in Lomachenko's dad trains him. He just fought the Mexican monster. What's his name?
Usyk.
His name is Alexander something.
Usyk.
I don't know his last name.
Usyk.
No, it ain't Usyk. It ain't Usyk. He's a European fighter as well.
Gojovic.
That's it.
Yeah.
Weird name, but that guy. Better Be fought him in the amateurs. Mind you, Better Be fought in the amateurs as a fucking heavyweight. So
Right.
I mean, everybody be talking about Devin Haney's weight really shit.
He beat Gojovic too. He took his belt.
Yes,
he made him retire for a couple years.
He took so he beat him in the amateurs and then fought him as a professional, right? And when he fought him in the professional, that was a pretty good competitive close fight, right? But in that fight, he only was able to do what he was able to do because he's so much bigger. Like when he fights Better Be, and he got lucky that the injury occurred before the fight because he's an old man. If he'd have fought him and the injury occurred during the fight, and he's in a big a fight of that magnitude with Better Be, he would have got. Bivol. He would have got beat up pretty bad, bro. Bivol's gonna beat the shit out of Better Be, bro. If this was any other person, see what people do is they get attracted and allured by the power, and they forget what they're actually watching. The power makes you forget. Like people forgot that Deontay Wilder couldn't box just because he had so much power. They were picking him to beat Tyson Fury only based off power. But then when Tyson Fury showed, go ahead.
That's not the only reason why we picking Better Be though, bro. Better Be can box, bro. He's an Olympian. But look, it took Marcus Brown 2 years. It took Marcus Brown 2 years to fight after that ass whooping.
So this is what I want y'all to do. I want y'all to be non-biased. I want you to go back. Matter of fact, I'll put it together for y'all. I'll put it together for y'all.
Listen, it took a nigga 2 years to say, you know what? I can box again. That's what the nigga did. All right, so now look. This what we done because we done this on my channel before. So I'm gonna get you in on this. So Colin Smith, right? That was the last person he fought was Colin Smith, right?
You talking about that? Yes. Yeah, he beat the dog shit out of that guy.
He ain't fought since. Look at this. Anthony Yard, right?
Right. Oh man, you told Anthony not to take the fight to his face.
I told him that.
He fought right after.
Look who he fought right after.
It don't matter, but that killed the narrative that they don't fight after Better Be fights him.
Oh, okay, that's one nigga. Okay. All right, hold on.
Everyone damn near died.
You telling me about an outlier though?
Oh man, he still hasn't left Saturn, bro. Damn.
It took
So
this
let me
nigga a
ask y'all
whole.
this: is what y'all showing me based off skill or based off power?
If you saw that fight that when he
Everything.
fought
Y'all see,
Joe
y'all
Smith.
compromise, man.
No. I
I
said
mean, he
everything.
took a
I
whole
said
year off, bro. Look, bro took a whole year off. He said, "Bro, I'm cool." Who was it? Hold on. You saw
hey,
it took him 2 years. He took him damn near 3 years to fight again.
go look at Goshevik.
Let's see.
Alexander. Hey, by the way, Scholar, Goshevik, he's dirty. He's definitely dirty. He has never been that ripped, dog. He was a fucking bodybuilder fighting David Benavidez. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, he was a little big, but I don't know. But he's been off for a while as well.
Hey, look,
He's never
look at the
been. He's
break
never
this
been
nigga took
juiced.
though.
Cut.
Hey, look at the break he took.
Who? Who's this?
Dude that just fought David Benavidez.
Yeah. Yeah, he took like damn near 3 years.
No, so he said, "Bruh, look, I'm not fucking with you, homie." But a lot of niggas like that though. Listen, either they don't fight for a long time, or they fight a nigga that lost 30 fights already.
Kyle, what did you think of Shakur's win over
I get,
Artem?
I'm in the minority, bro. I thought he did his thing.
Sure, that's how Shakur fights, right? That's what he does. That's exactly how he fights. You know, at least his last 4 and 5 fights, he's fought that way. Yeah.
No, but it's not. He was right in the pocket though. It's not like the nigga they accused him of running.
Nah,
he was in the pocket.
Nah. Whoever said that, man, they were just. Now that's quality hate right there. He was not running. No, that's quality hate. I said, Kyle, if you heard me earlier, I said I don't think Shakur know how to put his punches together, man.
So I don't know.
He's not the only one either.
I don't know what y'all seen, man. I didn't see nobody in the pocket. He stood at mid range, but he didn't stay in the pocket. He wasn't in the inside where he could be hit. He stood
He
at the
was
mid
in the
range and just
inside.
stared at him.
Man, we
I
gotta
would
watch
say on
this
the
fight
back half
again,
there.
man. We gotta watch this fight again. I know you a Shakur Stevenson hater, but Jesus.
Nah,
I don't
like
know.
like on the
What I
back
said came to
nine.
pass.
On the back nine, there, Scholar.
What I said
He
about
was.
Shakur came.
You were kind of breaking up.
I said what I said about Shakur and shit. It came to pass. But Shakur, bro, look, Shakur did not get in the ring that night and forget how to cut the ring off, bro. Shakur is the king of excuses, bro. Every time he doesn't perform or get a guy out of there who's supposed to blow out, he has an excuse, bro. And he makes it like everybody's ducking him. It's like, bro, why would anybody duck you? You don't even take risks. You won't even get a knockdown. Like in the Oscar Valdez fight in the last round, he's looking up at the fucking clock to run, bro. Like, this is a fight that you've dominated all of the fucking rounds and you're trying to run in the last round. He just don't got it in him. Now, hold up. We got off this better be shit. I want y'all to take it. I want you to look with an honest eye, a non-biased eye.
Oh yeah, back to him.
You can just go back to type in Better B's highlights, right? To make it even easier for you. Go look at every single one of his opponents that he knocked out. He hits them in the back of the head. Every single one. There hasn't been one knockout that Arthur Beterbiev has got without hitting somebody in the back of the head before knocking them out. That's why they take that long stint. That's why fucking they be wondering, like, what the fuck? I've been hit by punches before. What the fuck is this shit? Human beings wasn't designed to get hit in the back of the head. You're vulnerable on the backside of your body. That's what that would explain the year off shit. But bro, Bival's gonna beat the shit out that guy, bro. That guy is what, 40 years old, coming off of fucking jaw surgery where he had an infection in his jaw. Fucking, you can't miss him with punches.
Wait, you
Beterbiev,
talking about Beterbiev? I thought he tore his meniscus in his knee.
nah, he had surgery on his jaw.
Really?
No. Okay, yes. What you're just talking about, that was the injury before the Bivol fight. But before that fight, the one he just had, he had like an infection in his jaw. Because I seen John Scully talking about it on fucking George's channel. But he said he had like an infection in his jaw. Because somebody was telling me it was like cancer. So I'm like, what? But no, it was an infection in his jaw that he had to get surgery on. So that's why he was out for a little bit. But yeah, bro, those are injuries that happen to old fighters, bro. Like he's old. He's an old man. Like I said, don't get too enamored with the power, bro. Like this is like I said, I've seen the mistake happen before where Luis Ortiz is beating the shit out of Deontay Wilder. He catches him once and shit, it's over. Everybody forgets Deontay Wilder getting out boxed. Go back and look at Beterbie's actual fights. Go look at how much punishment he takes before he gets the knockout. Notice that he hits the guy in the back of the neck before knocking them out. Notice all those things. I didn't tell one lie just now.
Hey, do we want to see Luis Ortiz fight again? I want to see him mix it up. No? He said no.
I think Luis Ortiz is older than his actual bro. People are complaining about Jake Paul versus Tyson. Like you could make an argument that Tyson is closer to Luis Ortiz's age.
Really? That old?
They say Luis Ortiz like 50 something, 53, 54.
Yeah. That Cuban birth certificate, bro.
What? You guys telling me this dude's... he almost a senior citizen. Shit. 5-6 years away. Okay, never mind.
Well, listen here, fellas. I'm 30 minutes over my limit. But this was a good one. This is a good one. Hey, listen.
Good to see you back, brother.
Bro, it feels good to be back. Tomorrow night, though, if y'all feel like coming through, man, please come through, man. You know what I mean? Hopefully they just let y'all get these notifications that I'm putting out, and we can go from there. But definitely looking forward to talking some more boxing. I appreciate y'all for sliding through here, man. I really appreciate it for sure.
Yeah, always, man.
Kyle, you got hit with one of the Beterbie punches. That's why you took that time off.
Hey, listen,
Rabbit.
Life been lifing, and it's still lifing. Listen. Life got me on the ropes right now, boy. I done took 2 knees already. I'm trying to make a comeback. I'm trying to do a
get up, baby, get up. Come on,
listen,
now.
I'm Diego Corrales versus man, what's the dude name that people keep saying Floyd lost to?
Castillo?
Yeah. I'm looking like Diego Corrales right now, so I'm trying to get that one punch so I can turn this motherfucker around. You dig?
Grit.
Man.
All right, man. In my prayers, Kyle.
But I appreciate y'all for pulling up, man. In the words of the great philosopher Lil E, I want y'all to breathe in and live life. You know it's always a truth when players meet. Thank y'all for breaking bread, man. With that, we out. Peace.
Yeah.
Out the roots, he let the beats build, bitch, and we never switch. Even if I'm rich, I'll be broke like I'm Mitch. Niggas talking down, but that's headed in the wrong direction. But I knock that shit out like the boxing section. Cause they can't touch what they can't see. All I gotta